would kind of be leaning towards I'm leaning towards 16 because it's a little bit early for 14 because it's only going on 6.3, but in the way on how Final Fantasy works, on the way on how Final Fantasy works, or Final Fantasy 14 works, a year, it's going to be a year. So by the end of this year, we're going to have a sneak peek at Final Fantasy 14's expansion, like how they normally do it with, how they did it with Endwalker, where it showed us a glimpse of 14 Endwalker, and then when the Gamescom came in, or when the FanFest came in for 14, they showed the full video and the release date for 14's Endwalker. So they might add that to it. So
wait, I'm going to ask you this: if Final Fantasy 16 wait, and will you buy it or will you wait T15 standard?
What?
Final Fantasy 16, will you be wait M or T15? Which is better for Final Fantasy 16 game?
Final Fantasy 16?
We mature or T15?
Final Fantasy always been rated T, but I don't know.
Final Fantasy 0. Let's count Final Fantasy 0. I think it's called 0, or what's it called?
Final Fantasy. I'm talking about the mainline series. Type 0 was not a mainline. It was a really good game, but it was not a mainline game, though.
I'm not surprised because Final Fantasy I can't wait what's gonna be the Game Awards, but you know what I'm worried about, Don?
What?
The Game of the Year. Who's gonna win Game of the Year? Because last year
dude, like, okay, so a lot of people call the Game Awards really. I watched the reviews, but most people say, and I agree with them, that overall, when it comes to their awarding system, the Games Day Award, it's pretty much rigged, right? And it's rigged because a lot of times, even if it's not the most popular game, whatever, a lot of times the game that wins, often years, is actually not necessarily the most popular game. And they say, oh, Game of the Year, when really those look up. I don't know how to word it. Can anyone help me out here? What is a good way to kind of tell that it's rigged? Like, a lot of games that are winning aren't really that popular.
It's all mostly votes from higher ups and adults. The people
in other words,
don't play these games.
Exactly. It's all bought. And I heard like the Oscars are pretty similar to that. Like all their awards are really in reality bought.
I know that there's money involved in it. Like, they have to keep paying them to get the high vote, which is still unfair. But it's also rigged because it's just adults that have no idea what the fuck a game is voting for all of it.
Yeah, like for instance, let's take The Last of Us Part 2 for instance.
No,
this is a good example. That game was very widely hated. Some people liked it, but mostly it was
what game?
Last of Us Part 2, very poorly received. It was some people liked it, but most people thought it was a crappy game. Why in hell did that lose to? Would it lose to Sekiro or something?
Sekiro Shadows Die.
Sekiro Shadows Die.
Yeah, didn't that? I heard that game actually had infinitely better reviews and was more well liked.
Oh, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
It actually was on par with how Dark Souls was. So.
Well, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I know. But what I mean by rating wise. It was really good. It deserved the 10 out of 10. It deserved everything it had.
The fact that the other one won Game of the Year it was why, and that's common occurrence with Game Awards, right? That's why a lot of people say it's rigged. Like, it doesn't make sense that what's winning, right, Najee? The only thing I look for the Game Awards to events like that are for the reveals of new up-and-coming titles and projects, right?
Yeah. So my comment on my video the other day.
Okay.
Okay, Don, let me tell you guys this.
Yeah?
What's wrong, Sarah?
I made a video the other day talking about Mortal Kombat getting new game development or Injustice 4.
Shut up! Hey, Diablo, enough!
Can I say something?
Get over here,
he's talking to his
Diablo.
dog. He's talking to his dog.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mind me.
Okay.
Hey, you little bastard! Get your ass back here.
I was okay. I was saying I made a video about talking about news on teaser, but we could get a Mortal Kombat 12 or Injustice 3 in development. We got the Game Awards because Ed Boon confirmed this. We could see something at the Game Awards, like a new Mortal Kombat or Injustice 3 or something. If that came to happen, will you guys play the game, or you guys get Injustice 3 instead, or Mortal Kombat?
I still gotta play Injustice 1.
Okay.
I don't like the Mortal Kombat series. It doesn't interest me.
Okay. We guys play. We guys. If Apple reveals a Marvel fighting game, will you play it?
I'd probably play Marvel fighting. I might. I'm not really. I haven't played many fighters. The only fighting game I have right now is Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 5. No, 6. Sorry, Soul Calibur 6. Not Soul Calibur 5. I hate that one.
Mortal Kombat is the best fighting game.
And Ben here to take your guys. If Capcom were announced a Marvel's Capcom comeback, will you play it or will you not play it?
I actually saw that. That looked interesting when I first saw it. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom. That actually looked interesting when I saw it. Actually.
What would come back for a new game besides a Infinite version of it, like Mortal Kombat Infinite?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's people that want to play it. Like,
because Marvel vs. Capcom needs a new game because the other game didn't do so well. So
which one? What was the other one? It was DC DC Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Yeah, for DC, that game is getting a movie also, a battle game movie.
Actually, I'd like to see that.
It would be animated, but
I'd still watch it. I'd still watch it.
Me too. Yeah, I made TV did a video on this recently about if both Capcom is probably getting movies in the future, what can it can't do, or it can do what they gotta censor the PS3 and PS3 era games. Remember, they censor a lot of stuff and then Mortal Kombat games for DC. Do you remember that, Don?
I don't know. I've never played every single game. Like, you're asking me if I remember that. Just ask me if I played that game, like, and then ask me the question. You know, like, yeah, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just you ask me a lot of questions. You remember when they did this and that? Like, I don't. And you gotta like it's kind of like asking me. Remember that time that rocket launched? What was your experience up there? Like, I didn't go on that rocket. I'm just No, I'm just saying when you're leading someone in the conversation, you want to ask, have you ever played such and such? Do you remember the whole story with that? Then go that way. You know, like you gotta let people know what you're talking about. You know.
Yeah, I was talking about. I made a video on it, and if I liked it, about the Mortal Kombat teasers I did for the Game Awards, but I don't know. People gotta know, but yeah, we know the company said I wish that can happen. I hope it happens this Game Awards. We'll be getting no Mortal Kombat on just this game because it's about time. Or anniversary just passed, so but one of those games, so we're just getting the game from Ed Boon and there's one of the big games. Also, I have some good news, Don.
Yeah.
The Wonder Woman game could still happen.
The what game? The Willow?
The Wonder Woman game.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Wonder Woman game at all, dude. Like,
it was in development by Monolith, who guys made Middle Star War. That franchise, Mortal Wings. That game is the nerve system. Wonder Woman. But here's the thing, here's the kicker, guys. This game, Wonder Woman, is going to open world.
Okay.
What Spider-Man? Open world.
Oh, I get it. Nope. I mean, I've never really. Okay, I'm not a Wonder Woman fan. I don't hate her. I don't really follow Wonder Woman. I mean, the only cartoons I saw somewhat like on Justice League was characters like Batman. I saw Wonder Woman on there, but I felt like I got more. I felt like my eyes would focus more on Batman. Like Superman, a lot. Superman, I was a little annoyed. I guess it was his brightly colored outfit. I was like, eh.
Also, here's the thing. Okay, so there's a thing about. So James Gunn and Pierce Sapper is saying that we're doing a new DC universe, but we gonna. Oh, it's not Sapper. Oh man. Robert? Oh yeah, it's okay.
Relax,
so I was
relax,
saying,
Nazi. It's okay.
I was saying, okay. So, Pure Savage and James Gunn.
Mobile's good.
Okay. What you say?
I gotta see if I have everything for Frost.
Oh, so
Yeah, Najee, I've actually started my stream. So.
I want to get content. I want to talk more.
Yeah, I know, but we're jumping all over the place. Like,
yeah, we're talking about
Rob. What do I need for Frost now?
We're
I'm gonna name out. I have
parts for Frost. We haven't got to the resource yet.
Frost System, Frost Neptix, and Frost Chastity. So I would need the
Yeah, you need the blueprint for Frost.
Prime, not Prime. The body.
No,
Blueprint.
No,
Or no.
Blueprint.
Rob.
Blueprint. Hello?
I don't think he can hear you.
God damn it.
I can't hear him. Did you hear him, Steven?
Discord mobile sucks ass.
I know, Phil.
It genuinely sucks ass. I'm tired of restarting this fucking app every time.
Steven?
Hello?
I can hear him, but I'm not sure he can hear us now.
Oh, I can't hear him at all.
Steven, he said blueprint.
Zoe, you gotta stop trying to sneak a shit on my shirt.
Hey Rob, what do I need besides the chastity, the head, and the
Blueprint.
The blueprint?
That's what yeah, hold on. That's what he's saying. Can you hear him, Steven?
Yeah, I now can hear him now.
He can hear you.
Yeah, Discord mobile sucks ass.
I don't think he can hear you too well. No, he can hear you. Yeah.
No, I can hear him. He just couldn't hear me for a moment.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah, I said blueprint. You buy the blueprint from when you see a selection of warframes when you go to equip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that after this.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that next. But I also need the, to get the plastoid, so.
Yeah.
For that, and I'm probably going to need the plastoid for, that other one too, so.
Fuck you, Lick. Fuck you, Lick. I know I'm not doing any damage to it, but I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably not doing anything to the damn thing.
No, we're not.
I mean, if I had my other warframe, I would be doing shit ton.
Yeah, if my account wasn't banned, I'd be doing a lot more.
Spent $70
not really banned. It was temporarily suspended. I need to call PlayStation to see what the status is about that. I need to call early because their calls were at high volume. They couldn't even accept call.
Can't you? I think usually these services allow you to call you back at a certain number. You get put in a queue and they call you back.
Yeah, but they have the new system going. If you literally call right now, they'll say the same thing they told me. Their call is at high volume. They can't take any more calls. Please call back later.
Hey, Rob, I have a question for you, though. The question is, can't you link your account to them without it? Or you need your account?
I need to call them to give them my information. I can't do anything about that online. It's the same thing through the bot system, but I'd rather talk to a real human person.
Yeah, I understand that.
What happened?
My PlayStation account got banned, so I can't get all my Warframes back. So
how did yours get banned?
You can appeal to that. You can get your account unbanned.
It's been permanently banned.
No, you can still appeal it back.
No, I can't. I was actually at fault with it.
Yeah, but after like a long time, like say a year, you can appeal and get it back. I had to wait a whole year. They said 6 months, but I wanted to wait a year so that PlayStation would forget, and they always do. They're fucking unreliable. You know,
Right.
they're gonna forget you even did anything. So you just you go into their site and look for like an appeal of a ban and explain why you want it unbanned. Like literally, just be like, just literally be genuine about it. Don't be like a dick about it. And then like within like a day or two, they'll like give you a response back.
I need to buy the blueprint though. Market.
Yeah, yeah. Go to
Go to
Arsenal and Warframe Equip. You'll see it right there in the list.
Go to what? Arsenal.
Arsenal and select Equip on your current frame, and you'll see Frost in like the list of other frames.
Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, my new programmable coffee pot came in, but I can't seem to figure out how to work the. I can't seem to figure out how to work the programmable auto start cooking coffee. So
that's something.
I'm trying to. I must be doing it wrong, but I gotta figure out how to set the timer correctly.
Didn't they give you the manual for it?
Yeah, but the manual is garbage. That's the manual doesn't even do a good job of it. It's very vague.
We as a human race have fallen in intelligence so far back.
Hey, listen. It's a $46 coffee coffee maker.
It's not your fault. You don't have to take any fault for their stupid incompetence of a simple fucking extraction.
Hey, I can still, Bob. I can still make the coffee. It just I can't get it to auto start at a certain time. So in other words, if I want to say if I go to sleep at night and I set up my coffee in the maker to make it at 5 a.m. when I wake up, I can't get it to do that. It's supposed to, but for some reason I can't program it correctly. It's probably on me. It's probably pretty simple, but I'm probably doing it wrong.
Control module and 600 plus. What's 600 plus 500?
No, I'm not surprised about.
What's 600 plus 500?
Never mind.
I don't know.
What?
21?
21?
I'm joking.
So 2100?
No, don't, Steven, that's a meme. That's a meme.
600 plus 500. That's how much plastoid I need for between Frost.
It's 11, 600 and 500. That's 1,100.
Okay, I need 1,100 plastoid.
So it's under 9,000. Okay,
and I need one control module.
Yeah, we need to get to the resource farming now that we got our frames. Well, I didn't get Loki, but I can get Loki later.
I got Loki. I already have Loki. I also need Mag's system and Noptics. So
The thing with Digital Extreme said they need to stop swapping starter frames for fuck's sake. Yeah, either stop swapping Vault out with Loki and Loki with Vault, or just have all 4 of the starter frames in one list. It's not that hard. And still, for fuck's sake, it's a simple damn manual. Literally, no fucking moron can stop the dicking around and just make the manual corrected. It may be something on your part, but really they should have explained it better in a manual for you.
Nazi, are you gonna change the subject to something else that's not what they're talking about?
No, it's about the manual for Digital White in a different language.
Of what?
The coffee thing.
Oh well, I know how to make coffee. Nazi, it's called Mr. Coffee 12 cup programmable coffee maker.
I know make coffee
like a Fallout reference.
I make coffee too.
Sounds like a Fallout reference.
Well, my understanding is that brand has existed before Fallout, so I'm pretty sure Fallout ripped it off, or I don't know.
Wait,
it sounds like a
you get the reference, like you get this automated assistant robot called Mr. Handy, Mr. Crane. Or it's also funny.
Okay, I guess I get it.
Wait, you drink coffee?
Yeah, I drink coffee in the morning. I hate the taste. I despise it, but I need the kick in the morning to get myself going. Yeah. I tried Bob's water method. It only works temporarily, then it wears off.
Well, I didn't know you drank coffee. You didn't tell me that last week.
Yeah, I hate drinking it. I mean, it's hard for me. I can only tolerate it if it's a fair balance between sweet and bitter, where it's like a medium strength. If it's like fucking too sweet, or like a little bit too sweet, or a little bit too bitter, it's a horrible experience for me. 'Cause, dude, I love good flavor. I don't care. Coffee's just hard to find that balance. Like I drink it for the same reason I drank the energy drink for a while, because I needed the kick. But energy drinks are probably are worse for you. So
yeah, my
they're a lot worse. They make your heart rate, raise your blood temperature. It's fucking.
Yeah. Plus, right now, last time I checked, because of the pain I'm in, my blood pressure's high, so I don't want to put more of that in my system.
Remember, listen,
360 over 90. No, wait, not 360. Sorry, I would be dead. I meant.
Saying, like, how the fuck are you alive?
Yeah, exactly. I am a monster. Okay, no, but
I was gonna say, how the fuck are you alive?
No, it's what? Sorry, it's 160 over 90. Still pretty high though.
Yeah, that's too high.
So you drink tea, you drink coffee also. You drink water.
Okay, so I've tried the tea method. That works only if you're a little bit tired. Not when you're just waking up. I mean, for some maybe.
Actually, this could be like this may not work for you, but try this. It's a vitamin. It's called B12.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no,
I know. No. He's talking about vitamins, not drugs, Najee.
B12.
It's not a prescription. It's a vitamin. It could be that you're lacking vitamin B12.
B12. What B12 actually is basically, if it's low, its oxygen is you're very how do I put it?
Tired.
Yeah, it makes you very tired, so you need that stuff to help.
You would have no energy every damn day. You get tired very easy. I think that may be what you need.
Maybe.
I don't like. I still drink soda, but even that doesn't help me. And neither does food anymore. So when I talked to my doctor, she looked at my blood and said I'm low on B12. Like really, really low on B12. That's why I've been tired for so many days. So I've been taking it, and I perk right up. It doesn't work instantly. It's just like give it an hour, and it'll just give it like take one pill every day, and it'll give you the energy you need. It's not permanent. It's like it's only temporary. Like it lasts a whole day. As so long as you take it in the morning, don't take it at night because it'll keep you up at night.
I already have trouble sleeping at night, so
it's basically a booster, but without the monsters and all that shit.
Without caffeine, alcohol, or fucking energy drinks. It's just like it's a vitamin that you're lacking. And your body needs every kind of bad and good things to even function. Like for salt, your body does need salt, but not a lot of it. Same with sugar. Same with protein. Same with calories, sodium. It's just not too much of everything. Like, would you believe it or not that every food tastes good because it has fat in it?
So what does my Warframe do? I never had this one.
What Warframe are you on? Octavia? She has. She's basically a mid-support frame. I say mid with a strong suit because, like, she may be a support frame, but she, when you know the in and outs of her, she makes a really nice support frame, and she only is that. But her biggest tool of all is her one, believe it or not, and that is armor reduction. Or damage vulnerability. Damage vulnerability works similar to armor reduction. There's armor strip, which she can't do, but she can lower armor percentage.
So wait, I can heal people, or just increases everybody
you can't heal people, but you can give us free energy. Every time you use one of your 4 abilities, you give us slow regeneration of our energy.
Oh, so basically like a shield ability, like I would do.
No, it's like an aura trait. Like it doesn't matter which ability you use. You give us slow regeneration of our energy and our meters, like 10% extra.
What about the rolly thingy?
The rolly thing is just a distraction, but it's also a booster to your 1. But I don't use her rolling, her 2 ability because it doesn't do anything like anything big at all for anyone. It's like all it does is 2 things: expand your 1 to like a larger range. There is no damage boost when it does that. It's just larger radius.
Are you not running with us?
I am. I've been here the whole time.
Oh. What the hell is your buddy's fucking thing?
His frame is Titania Prime. Titania is a meta right now, so he's been using it for a while.
I've been wanting to get Titania again, but I know it's a Titania and I know it was a Prime, but I've been wanting to get it, but I'm not high enough to get any of the.
Well, we're not quite there yet. At least, we're not that quite there yet. It's like, and I hope that the cross save comes out because I really want to make my PlayStation account a primary source because all my shit's on there. Even though every mod and frame are gone, my resources are still there.
Oh, that's good.
I know this would be bad or anything, but could you help me get a lot of the primes when I'm ready?
Yeah.
Or help me progress?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? When my shit did get like stolen from me, the one thing this motherfucker didn't do, he didn't get rid of all my relics, but he got rid of every mod, arcane, warframe. All of my relics are still there. I can literally, that's his fuck up. He gave me the biggest chance he sorely lost out on.
Could you help me progress the story too?
Yeah, the thing is, there's only very few things you have to solo yourself, but will help you get the right stuff you need for it to do it. You also, and of course, this is like your own personal perspective, but you also need your favorite frame.
Yeah, my favorite frame I can't get right now.
Oh, yours is Loki?
No, my favorite frame was Titania. I can't get Titania anymore. That was my most favorite prime in.
Well, we need the relics we need relics and a whole lot of hope for RNG to give us.
Yeah, I had Titania Prime. I knew it was Titania Prime right away. I just couldn't. I can't get to it because you have to be very close to endgame order to do it.
No, you just need the relics, and the relics are like sometimes they come out and sometimes they go back in the vault.
Yeah.
Unless you're lucky to get it off of somebody that still has those relics, which I know I do, but you know RNG is still a bitch.
Guys.
Yeah.
So I have a. Go ahead, Nandi.
I have a question for you,
What?
About Warframe.
What?
Is there a way to, is crossplay still coming out, or is there a way?
Is it already out?
Crossplay is out. It's just cross save is still under development.
Okay, so how do I if I still went to my PSN account, how do I get my stuff back?
It's on cross save. It's still technically in the works.
Is it beta?
No, what my friend says that like he thinks that cross save won't come out unless they perfected crossplay. So until then, crossplay is going to be out for like give it a year or two, and then they're going to release cross save.
Okay.
Which, knowing that, I know they're going to do it fine.
I mean, if you want to play Naji, you would have to find Warframe is your favorite and work on your way into it.
Yeah, I got there on my PSN account, but I'm gonna wait to my PC, my Steam Deck. But
where's your PS2? Where's your PlayStation account then?
And I already told you guys, remember? Wait till John, but.
Oh, you bastard! Leave me the fuck alone! Thank you.
Talking about something else.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the fucking game. They had a little bastard trying to kill me.
I was thinking about
Samoa.
John?
Yeah?
So, if I walk into my PSN account...
You lost it?
No, I still got it. It's still good. But I want to know if I want to put my PSN account on Warframe. Can work on PT.
Well, here's the thing. Because there's not cross save yet, you won't be able to carry over character data.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you let me know when you can do that?
I don't know when it's. I'm not sure what the status on that is. I don't think Bob knows either. Like, I know you. I know.
It's still in development. There's only crossplay. There's no cross save yet.
Okay. Whoa. Oh.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay. On my levels and stuff. On my.
What time do I go?
Well, yeah, that would be under your cross save. That'd be under save, and since there's no cross save, you can't carry your data over. You just have to, you can play with people on PlayStation PC or wherever on the cross console PC, but you can't necessarily you only be able to carry you only be able to have data on one. So basically, if you want to play on your Steam Deck, you can't bring your PlayStation save file over to the Steam Deck. Okay?
No, you can need.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah, the save file will not be there.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to wait on. I'll test it out myself one day.
Well, Najee, realistically, how far are you in Destiny? Not Destiny, sorry. The progression when it comes to Warframe. Are you still in the beginning?
No, I beat the whole game while I was on PS4.
Well,
ago.
One thing for sure, you can't really.
Yeah, you can't really beat the game.
Yeah, what you probably beat Najee is probably a few levels, and then they're adding new stuff like recently. So.
The game itself, you can never beat it. They progress, they add shit.
I can't even 100% the trophy system because they keep adding more shit.
Yep.
I'm like at 97%, and they keep adding shit, preventing me from 100%ing it.
I had one Warframe that was stopping me from 100%ing it. Rob?
Like the problem is, like, even if you want to get 100% a trophy on the game, you can't do it because they keep adding everything else to it. That's adding more trophies to it.
Yeah.
You can complete the achievement list in the game, but you can't 100% platinum the whole game because they keep adding more stuff.
There's people. I know my brother. He had the foundation pack.
The founder.
Yeah, and he has all the primes and all the primes they have now and all the skins they have now. He's been playing it since day one.
Yeah, I wasn't around when the Warframe came out.
I mean, I was so pissed because I was Foundation and I played since day one. But my dumbass got myself account banned, so...
Like I said, if you can
I was going to actually try.
If you get contact with PlayStation to see what the status of your account is, then ask them ask them, can I still appeal? Can I still appeal to unban?
Yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
They will tell you, because if they don't tell you, then that means you got to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Well, it might, I'm not sure. It might depend on the ban itself, though. You know, like it's.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Someone literally deliberately got themselves banned in a world record, like 6 seconds on purpose to see how fast acting would be, and like a year later, he appealed it, saying that he's sorry, he won't do it again, and promised to be a good boy, be funny about it. And they appealed his what the fuck's the word? They appealed his appeal. Yeah, they reinstated his appeal, allowed him to get his account back, but changed his name to temporary bunch of numbers. That's how they do it. So, and like he only wanted to test it. That he wanted to test how fast acting their bot system would catch up with him, like going against the code of conduct and the guidelines and all that.
Yeah.
He eventually got that account back because, he waited a whole year, said he was sorry, he'll be a good boy next time. As a joking manner, and 2 days later they reinstated his appeal, so he got his account back. It doesn't matter what the ban was. PlayStation doesn't give a shit. They'll unban you anyway.
It wasn't PlayStation that banned me.
Wait, PlayStation's Sony's the only one that can ban you, though.
No. I got banned. My PlayStation account got banned by the company itself.
Why?
Yeah.
Huh? Because they had a dumbass, young-ass fucking kid asking me for a Prime, and I gave him a Prime, and I told him that it was going to cost him at least $4,000 for the Prime.
That's impossible.
Well, yeah, that at the time I didn't know it. At the time, yeah, it was impossible.
Prime? What do you mean? What do
But
you mean
I
Prime?
was just I was just fucking with them. You see? And apparently he got caught on, and I got hit.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean Prime? What are you talking about?
It's a prime skin.
Oh.
You can't get rid of. You can't trade primes for platinum. Mainly.
Yeah, but that sounds impossible. There's no way that kid had good connections to Sony just to do that to you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm thinking this is why I'm thinking that even if you got banned directly from Sony, you can still get unbanned through the appeal.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I didn't get banned from Sony.
You just said you did though.
My account was banned by the company that made Warframe.
Oh, so you're banned from playing Warframe, not PlayStation.
Yes, not my PlayStation. It was Warframe itself.
Oh, so that's a different story. That's not a. That's
yeah,
not,
I can't appeal. I can't appeal it because I was permabanned.
Yeah, I get it now. I was confused there. No, it's not. Your whole PlayStation account isn't. No. So you have to. So wait a minute. Do you have to start new as that account, or do you have to go on a different account to do that?
This account is the one that I made after I got banned from it. So this
that
was
little snot kid was at, what the? How the hell does that work?
I don't know.
I really don't understand the logic about that. How can one kid have a deep connection with Digital Extremes?
I don't even think it was a deep connection. I think he mass reported.
You have to go to extreme lengths to get a whole ass company to ban your ass from a game they made.
Yep.
You really have to go to extreme fucking lengths just for that to happen.
Which is mass report. Mass report. If there's so many reports on your account, they don't look into that shit. They'll just ban you right off the on the spot.
You didn't even say much. You were just like trolling.
Yeah, I know.
How the fuck does that work? So
I don't know.
So that means Digital Extremes is just as bad as PlayStation's messaging system.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, well, you can try for yourself. Go ahead. It's not really a secret. It's a very high public exploitable thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your friends about that. Literally, it's a real deal. And PlayStation doesn't really want to take care of it. They don't want to take care of it. I don't want to hear any excuses. They just don't want to deal with it. PlayStation 5's out, and the system still behaves the same way. Prove me wrong. I just watch someone actually tries to prove me wrong. It's like, dude, you need like 10 bot accounts or sub accounts or 10 of your friends to do the damn thing to happen, and it does happen. You gotta say some stupid things. It works the same way. It literally works the same way. It may be a little different for Warframe's tech system, but it works the same damn way. You just need to say something stupid and get it mass reported, and it fucking works. In PlayStation, or if this still happens in Warframe, Digital and PlayStation are the same damn people that don't want to take care of it.
It still does. It still does happen. I done seen a lot of YouTubers get hit with the same thing I did.
They don't want to deal with it. They personally do not want to fix it. They're just lazy, unreliable. I literally don't like those kind of people. Big company, big corporate, whatever. Digital Extremes is a small damn company, still rising.
Yeah, but even
PlayStation is like a major billion-dollar company that just doesn't want to fix an exploitable problem that still goes on in 2022, near 2023 now.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is a thing everybody knows how to exploit. It's a public thing. It's no secret. It's very damn easy.
Why do you think I don't like playing Warframe so much?
Why do you think I don't like talking to people online that I don't know?
Because I'm afraid
shit will happen to me.
Because I'm afraid that someone would mass report me again. So I only talk to certain people.
It's only if you start communicating with these random people that they take it the wrong way, very extremely, and go to such extreme lengths to just get you to fuck off the platform. Like you can't do that. You can't talk to anyone online anymore just because of that reason. Well, some games don't do that. You don't know.
Yep.
You really don't know that answer. You don't know.
It's fucking stupid.
It's because of the exploit that literally everybody doesn't like talking to each other because it's just so easy.
Yeah, they need to fix their shit.
They're not going to. That's another problem. They're just not going to. Just like PlayStation doesn't want to have doesn't want to add give PlayStation consoles backwards compatibility. They just don't want to do it.
Yeah,
it's not lack of funds. It's not lack of resources. They just
but
don't.
You gotta admit, Warframe was the very first game that everybody loved because you didn't have to spend a single fucking penny on the game because the whole game you could get all the shit through the game itself.
Yeah. Speaking of like, what you're calling the banning thing, right?
Yeah.
I remember watching a video. I can't remember who was doing it, but he was doing a rundown, basically like a review, a rundown of all the accounts, like from old Microsoft boards about people who try to appeal for their accounts to be brought back and asking questions like, "Why was I deleted?" But he said, let me just read some of these information. And the developers would be, and the runners of the company would be pretty straightforward and crystal clear about why they got banned. And when you see the reasons of why they got banned, like it was like, well, no shit. Of course you're gonna get banned. Like, why are you even asking why you got banned? You know? Like,
I mean, I can agree that I got banned for one time and one time only on Call of Duty because I was a 12-year-old fucking kid that was fucking screaming off my head and everything.
Yeah, was it? I think one of the examples of the user.
Rob knows I was it, kids.
Like I think like one of the examples of the usernames this guy was asking. I don't understand why I was banned. When you see his like username, it was big. It was the N word, and I'm like, well, how do you fucking not know why you got your ass banned, right?
I know one kid, if I remember correctly, he got banned for having Mohammed in his name, which his actual name was Mohammed, was in it. So
wait. I know he's not a terrorist because I
no, he was not a terrorist, but he was a gamer on Call of Duty. His name was actually Mohammed.
No. I know that name. I've heard it in history before.
Yeah, it was Muhammad Ali. Not Mo. It was yes.
No, you had it. You had it. I think it was Muhammad. Was it?
Not Muhammad Ali.
No, Muhammad Ali was a boxer.
No, Muhammad was is what they consider a prophet or like a prophet, and like I guess his name comes up in the Quran, right? Like what I understand about the Quran, what I basically keeping on this word of mouth. Like, the beginning parts of the Quran are all about peace and equality, but when you go, I guess, deeper into it, that's when it starts to kind of go against the earlier, and it's like, if the former, someone told me this, like, I keep taking it with a grain of salt, but I guess it says later on that if the former doesn't match up with the later, then disregard the former. Like, but let's just take the grain of salt. I'm not sure about the source I heard it from. So I'm not gonna, and I haven't personally read it. So if you want to go up and look at that yourself, by all means, go do your own research. I
know I heard that name aside from the box.
Yeah, he is considered. He is very much considered, basically like a saint, a prophet, a divine figure to those who follow after the teachings of the Quran, right? But like my understanding is he's done some shit. He's done some pretty shitty things, though. He was but that goes back into what I was talking about, right? Like, it seems like at first it's like all about peace, but then like, which, okay, good, but I guess really, he's kind of a controversial figure. Let's put it there. And for some he's practically worshipped. Others are kind of more skeptical, but ain't that pretty much the viewpoint about any kind of?
Well, nowadays our ancestors would be looking very pissed off at us now.
They would look like a goddamn idiots.
No.
So even my dad said, "I'm just like it's like our grandfathers and grandmothers should be very proud they're not witnessing all of this chaos happening now."
You know, actually, you changed the subject for a minute. I don't go to this church anymore, but I'm still friends with some of the people in there, right? Like this Miguel, he's come over a couple times. He's a pretty dark guy. His family came over.
Wait, you mean the Miguel that added me on Facebook?
Oh yeah, that's him.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
wondering
dude, like his mother came over from Russia, years ago, like way back in the day, back when it was like I guess the Soviet Union or something. Like they got the fuck out of there after when they finally got. He told me some stories. Like, dude, their family was pretty much brutalized, right? Like there's that people. Some people think like, oh well, you know, what they have it. So, you know, some people like they defend communism, right? But he says, well, he says, okay, on paper it seems like a good idea, but actual practice it never works, and it always turns into a shit show.
Well, little bitch Dawn,
Yeah.
I bet. Little bitch Dawn,
hey.
are you going to join us in Warframe or?
Well, I need to update it on my PC. Okay, I haven't launched it in forever, so it's got to do an update. No, drivers will. I already have the drivers. It's just that it needs to install on the new update for the game. It needs to update because there's been new stuff added.
If you need to get a person, a Warframe, me and Rob will help you. But some shit you need to get on your own.
Well, yeah, I can do the missions. I'm gonna do the missions. It's just that I'm gonna need to understand. I fucking still can't understand the fucking mods. Like, what the fuck? Like,
that's because Digital Extremes doesn't explain it.
Yeah, I know.
They don't explain it. Even with their tutorials, they do not explain it very well.
Yeah, they don't.
That's what big Warframe YouTubers say, like Brozarn. Like me and my friend watch his content sometimes. He said the same thing. The problem is the mods. They don't explain it very well. It just sort of left you in the sidelines to figure it all out yourself.
Let me guess. It's overly complex and doesn't get to the point of really explaining it very well, right?
Exactly.
Dude,
hey,
I fucking felt that. I felt that way when I went through Final Fantasy the 10 remaster, when I looked at the sphere grid explanation, like, and how the different information he gave. It went on for like 20 minutes. I'm reading it and I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. Like it made it needlessly complicated. I'm trying to understand this shit and I'm like, ugh. Like, that's just for me. Maybe it would be easier for you, but for me, I was overwhelmed by all that.
How did you go down, Rob?
I was overwhelmed by all that information. I was overwhelmed.
I'll get you. Hang on.
I was really overwhelmed by all that information.
No, I get that. You were like new to the whole thing, and I suggested it. It's like I don't know how to properly explain it to newcomers myself, and that's what these high YouTubers kept saying. Is like, yeah, they're into Warframe. And there was someone that left Warframe because the content has been slow and tedious for the past year, and that's why they quit. But they still come back to it and show off some things. But his fans got upset of like why he was leaving, and he soon came back afterwards because it was for the fans. It wasn't for the game. Like, he didn't care if his partnership ended with them. He just wanted to make his fans happy. That was the whole point. But
not demands. If there's enough demands with fans come back wanting it, that means people are more likely to get that ad revenue.
But yeah, but like he at first only cared about like the ad revenue, but then he just stopped caring after his fans like cheered him up to bring him back and because they liked the information he was giving on some things that he was doing.
You know, speaking of not coming back or not coming back, I haven't seen Asmon in a hot minute stream Final Fantasy at all. I don't think he made it to Endwalker at all.
What?
I don't think Asmon made it to Endwalker. I think he just gave up before around just before Shadowbringers or in Shadowbringers. Like I haven't seen him stream any of that shit. Either he's put on hiatus or he's just completely quit. I don't know. Steven, you know anything about that?
I don't know.
The last thing that I heard from him is he quit.
I mean, I remember when he rage quit once and he came back.
No, he completely quit.
How come? What was the reason for it?
I don't know. He never asked.
He never said?
He never said. Yeah, he never said.
That's weird.
Maybe
he's getting tired of the stream snipers that come in and out of the game being difficult for him to go in.
Oh, speaking of that, before I go, do Dr. Respect?
Dr. Disrespect banned because on Call of Duty, I don't know. I didn't read that. I don't know why he got banned. What he did. Apparently, he said something or did something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if
Like-
you rage, you know, like we're talking about 2010 era of Call of Duty. That's literally nothing.
No.
There's literally nothing to worry about at all.
Recently, that happened.
Oh, this happened recently. Yeah, I don't follow him, so I don't know the answer as to why he got banned. Did you figure that out?
I'm assuming that he might have raged and said something stupid, which doesn't a lot in the world of Call of Duty, which is nothing to worry about. But hey, this is the internet. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No, nobody genuinely cares if like this has happened before or not. It's just like it's another excuse to like cry about it.
Yeah, I think most people okay, so I think the only ones that generally care about something stupid are the companies that own the game because they don't want the backfire if they don't do anything about it. They're the ones that they okay, so say you're on the companies that run the games are the only ones that really care, and the other one, and the other people that complain, the people that really make the most stink all over social media, don't actually care themselves. They just wanna clout chase and get all eyes on them. Look how righteous I am. Look how good I am. Look how right I am. Oh my God, I got 20 new followers. I got 300 new followers. Time to click 3 more things. Internet clout. Internet clout.
Like, this may be very important to a lot of people, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna flag his content.
Oh my God.
It's like this. They're fake. They're bad actors. It's exactly the term. I've heard that term so many times.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
You know James Cameron lied about Avatar 2, right?
What?
You know James Cameron lied about Avatar 2, right?
Avatar 2. I know nothing about it. I don't watch. I only saw the trailer.
You know James Cameron lied about it, saying that it's gonna be cinema, and it's gonna be much better than the first one, and said that cinema is better. But Avatar is better on your point because Marvel and DC.
He probably had high hopes that it would sell. He's trying to get it to sell. He needs that because so they spend like millions making movies, right? So they got to make back like 3 to 10 times, like twice or more about the amount they spent making the movie. So paying the actors, the special effects, development, everything.
Don, they told me they need $200 to get their budget, make his budget.
Did they downsize it?
No, listen. When it comes out, it needs to make $200, a lot more, million money,
okay,
a lot in the first film.
Najee, are you posting the same article in multiple categories?
I just know about it.
No, I'm talking about in Discord. I just wondering, you posted in general, then you posted in. Let's see here.
Rob, you need the head though.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You don't have to delete it. You don't have to. If it's gaming or gaming tech news or gaming and tech news, it can go in gaming and tech news, right? You don't have to post it in general in every other category. No, well, okay. I'm not. By the way, Bob, I guess it didn't really click for me.
Yo, Bob.
But tech
You
also.
need the head.
What's going on?
You need the head for Loki.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so tech news also refers to social media. Tech also is a term used for social media, so they're tech companies. So, it doesn't have to be specifically like hardware or something. If it's not a social media channel like say posting your own Twitter, there's a category for that. There's a category for that. But say you're posting a news article related to tech news or any kind of tech news or gaming news. That whatever it's about, whatever the topic itself is about Twitter or Facebook, that could also go under tech.
Does anyone still have a MySpace account?
I don't.
I fucking still do.
I deleted mine. I deleted mine.
I didn't delete mine. I think the coolest thing that MySpace had is that you could have music playing in the background of your.
Well, not anymore. I tried to go back. I used to have a bunch of music on there. So.
I guess I'm better. Do any of you? Does anyone still have AOL online?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Does anyone still have dial-up? Yeah, motherfucker! Okay. I want is dial-up even still active? Is that still a thing, or no? They got rid of that a long time ago. No one has it, but like,
they got rid of it long ago.
So the server support for it is already gone. Okay, good. I was wondering if there's anyone. If you have those, you have dial-up now.
Oh god, dude.
You guys are dinosaurs.
Guys, I've got some of this.
Yeah.
My question is, so, Don.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Avatar 2 needs to make $200 to make his money back.
Wait, no, you mean 200 million?
Yes, dollars.
Neural sensor. I need neural.
Yeah. You said $200. It's $200 million. There's no way $200 is used to make any movie.
No, to make your money.
One neural sensor and hey, I need one neural sensor and one control module, bro. Unlock mag. To unlock mag.
We need to get the resource trees frames.
I might not be able to get the resources today, Rob, unless you want to help me get them, because I'm going to need to head to bed pretty soon because Sarah gotta get up at 7 o'clock in the morning for the new store that's the new Dollar General Market that's going to be put down.
Alright.
So she's got to be stocking up food and all that shit. So she's going to need to get up early in the morning. So
wait, who's Sarah?
My girlfriend.
I know you guys. Never mind. Don.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck on the Game Awards, you guys get it? The giveaway?
Dude,
no.
Rob!
No.
Rob, you have the actually. Oh no! Ooh.
Is there a raffle for it or something?
Valve was doing a Game Awards Steam Deck giveaway, team with Jeff Kiwi. So
wait, is it at the Game Awards, or are they gonna ship it to you?
Okay. So thing. You enter. You're on SteamPower.com. You enter the link, go to the link, enter it.
Okay, so yeah, you sign up right online. So I'll try to enter the raffle. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Steam Deck. I'd like that actually.
No, please do it. Cause and you can't get Steam Deck, or you guys can. You guys can. Here's
the thing. Here's why I don't usually sign up for like raffles and contests, because you have like less than 1 in a million to 1 in a billion chance of actually getting that. So.
Yeah, it's good. It's per minute.
When it was per minute. I know you get it per minute. What?
Per minute daily. Like each person can get a Steam Deck and bet once until the Game Awards.
Okay.
So I need you to do. I think you don't want to do it, but you guys want to do it.
I'll look at the raffle. Just send me the link to the raffle. I'll check it out.
Oh, well, you did on your gaming tech news thing.
Oh wait, gaming tech news. That's okay. Is that an article?
Yeah, it's got an article, so it's got a link to the website on Steam Store website page.
It's a link to the Steam Deck Steam source page.
Wait, what did he say? Credits from resource farming for earlier.
I never said that.
No, he's talking about something else.
Rob, that's funny.
He's talking about something. He's talking about something else, Najee. He's not talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about Warframe.
Okay. So that's fair. Okay.
After this.
Like, okay, see, listen. Here's the thing, Najee. Like, if that's a link to the raffle, you're gonna have to remove it from that specific category. Because now, if it's a link to an article about the about the contest, then it's fine, right?
Okay, so when we do not send you or take.
No, I mean just send it to me. Just send it to me directly. I'll keep it there for now, and I'll determine if it's a place there. If not, just post it in general chat.
I tried putting general chat, but you told me not to.
No, I was telling you not to spam the same article from multiple chats. That's what I was telling you.
You won't disable it, okay? I'll just.
No, I'm not gonna disable you from posting things. I'm just saying don't post the same exact article in general than gaming tech news than in video games, you don't have to post in 3 different sections. There's no reason for that.
If it's video games, just post it in video games chat.
Well, like, yeah, so video game and tech news is for news articles related to gaming or tech. So, and tech could be not just technology, not just hardware, but could refer to social media tech, like tech, like articles about tech, not pictures of technology or if it's a news article, then yeah. But you know what I'm trying to say. They're for articles, but like say if you're posting a picture of the video game itself and it's not an article, then post it in video games, right?
Okay. So, and
like if I posted about Rob slapping himself, it's not tech news, it's news.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's no category.
News at all. It's more like funny stuff.
Yeah, I mean funny stuff. Yeah. That whole thing.
So Don.
Yeah.
What's that Pokemon? What chick? What Pikachu? What chicken meme I talked about?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one before. I watched it again recently. I saw it. Yeah.
How come Bob didn't see it or Haven?
He's probably seen it. It's the one where like Pikachu's inside what he does inside his Pokeball, and he's having a party and some shit, and then like
there you go. You got the head.
Like my favorite line. My sister loves this line too. Where like we goes inside the Pokeball, and Misty says, "I wonder what he does inside that Pokeball." And Mash is like to Misty, I'm wondering when you're gonna shut up and make me a dinner. Like, dude, that is like.
Talk about that parody animation.
Yeah, by Robot Chicken, where they fucking like
yeah, I've seen it.
That's an old one, dude. Like, that's when Robot Chicken was funny, but like lately, at least for a while, the new ones, they still have that gross humor they always have, but it's not funny. There's no funny punchline anymore. It's just annoying.
Because Nintendo, when Nintendo censor it.
No, that's nothing. That has nothing to do with Nintendo. That has to do with fucking Robot Chicken. Like their writing is garbage now.
Oh, if they were to do a Marvel one instead of DC, like did DC.
GG's guys, have a good night. Dawn's a little bit, Robin's a big bit. Have a good night, you guys.
Okay.
Fuck you, Steven! Fuck you! What's that laughing? Oh my god, it sounds like someone. Shut up and drink my dinner. When are you gonna shut up? Fuck.
Oh my god.
The joke. Oh my god. Like,
oh my god! Like, so, dude, I wanted to throw it, but I said no.
Like when Pikachu gets summoned back out of the Pokeball at the end. Pikachu, I choose you. He slaps himself, gives himself revved up, comes out of the Pokeball. He's versing a fucking Charizard, and he just looks turns around, asks, "He'll fuck you."
So, Joel, why didn't you look at a video and I get my Pokemon player? We don't want to. Wait, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I know it's for him, but I sent that video. Oh, she said no. I know we had chatted. He said to the way.
Yo, you should react to that Robot Chicken skit of Pokemon.
I'll do it to watch you still my video thing, but dude said why you find my video? Oh, because of Nintendo. And
dude, the Nintendo might as well flag that Robot Chicken video that belongs on Robot Chicken channel. They probably can't do that. They probably have some kind of deal going on with. Robot Chicken probably got permission from Nintendo to do it in the first place.
no,
I mean, well, actually, technically, Nintendo could still. No. Okay, so it's Pokemon, right? Seth Green would still have to ask permission from Nintendo to use the Pokemon's likeness or anything of it in their video. So they definitely got permission.
Back then.
It doesn't matter. They still got legal permission. There's a proper channel to go through this, and that's what they probably did. They probably asked whoever owns the right to the Pokemon series, okay, or the cartoon, the cartoon with Ash, right? All right, listen, can we do?
By the way, Ash is not a Pokemon trainer now.
He's not a Pokemon trainer anymore?
You know he's now a Pokemon trainer in the new anime if it happened. Wait,
I thought he was always a trainer. You mean a master, right?
Yeah, he's now.
Is it over now, the series?
there's a mystery because they want to do another anime because of that new game coming out. Recently came out, Scarlet Violet.
Dude, I wish they had made Ash grow older instead. He was forever a 10-year-old. Like what the hell?
Okay.
No, dude, like he's been a 10-year-old for decades. Like,
yeah,
since I was a kid. Okay.
Well, because you still love him.
No, no. You don't understand. It's like how did he cross all those regions without aging?
yeah.
That's
power of anime.
That's why.
That's the power of plot armor, I guess.
Oh my god, dude. And then after that, I was so happy about this, Don. I was so happy that Pikachu. Okay, so okay, so I was happy about this the other day. But the anime. Wait. First of all, Disney made another deal for anime.
I saw it. I don't know the details about that one. I gotta look over the video again. I heard about it.
No.
Disney, they're trying to work with an anime studio they worked with in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, because my sister knows. Okay, here's the thing. My sister, heard about the company for he made Ponyo and Spirit Away.
Yeah, I know. That's the one.
Making a Star Wars TV series.
Another Star Wars?
Yeah, making a Lucasfilm. Indiana Jones probably.
I wonder how good it's gonna be. Cause, dude, I only liked a couple. I only really liked one episode in Visions. The rest I hated. Like they took.
They're not by the company. They're by Disney. Somebody else.
Okay, so maybe actually be pretty decent. But here's the thing. Like when I found out Visions, I felt like, okay, so they took all the really corny aspects of anime and made them worse and did it incorrectly.
But you gotta understand, it's Star Wars. We getting a prequel TV series, live action version of imagine this. Imagine Star Wars 100 years before the prequel series that's coming out.
Yeah, there was something like that.
No, it's first what's coming.
Yeah, that existed before that. It was there was expanded universe in the lore behind before the events of the movies, dude.
Yeah, but that's a game series, live action development.
So they're making a new they're making a new lore that fits in with the existing one they've been trying to create. I get what they're doing.
The prequel series, and it's gonna be 100 years before it.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay, so I'm not an expert in Star Wars, but there's a game that basically takes place, I think, maybe 100 more years before the events.
Old Republic.
Yeah, that one. But I'm pretty sure that's probably no longer really. Well, it's active, but it's probably no longer canon in terms of the Disney's universe version of Star Wars, right?
Yeah, but now you're bringing it back with the new series, live action TV series development. And
are they bringing back the old uncanonized material, or are they just building their own?
Well, here's from my best. I heard recently the other day that there's a teaser coming out saying 2023 might see a series coming out 2023.
You know what I want? You know what I fucking want? I want us to know. Here's what I want. I wish they would make a live action series about fucking Starkiller.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Probably.
No, that's probably never gonna happen. And I wish they would kind of. I want to fucking see him pull down a fucking Star Destroyer with the Force. That's what Starkiller was capable of doing. Like Bob's laughing at that, but he knows what I mean, right?
Yeah, well, I was more thinking two Star Killers. Either the Star Wars, the guy that overthrew so many Sith Lords, because he had daddy issues, or the guy named Star Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, dude, Starkiller and Star Lord are different. Like Starkiller is the. You played the Force. Have you played the Force Unleashed? Bob, you played the Force Unleashed.
I played both.
Yeah, that's the Star Killer I'm referring to. Which actually funny. What's actually
there's two different Star characters.
You know, funny thing. You know what I read up? You know what I heard? I can't remember who told me. Najee may have told me this, or someone told me this. Star Killer was actually the original concept name for Luke Skywalker before they decided to name him Luke.
Yeah, I actually told him this. But yeah, okay, here's the rumor, Don.
Yeah.
So, there was some recent news that happened from CCX Expo. But both film things that happened recently. We talked about how Indiana Jones is gonna be, the trailer is gonna be much better than the other. Okay, so Indiana Jones 5, I saw the trailer recently today. It came out yesterday, and I didn't hear the daughter. What's Shia LaBeouf at?
Wait. It's only the daughter in there?
Yeah, no son.
Okay, so... Oh, so he no longer has a son, or he exists, he's just not in the movie?
Not a movie.
Okay, well, probably couldn't cast him. Or I don't know, maybe they just...
We're gonna mention him eventually. Say, oh, where is that?
Well, I got a question. What is Indiana Jones doing in this movie? Is he involved in the adventures, or is he not?
He's retired. He's evolving, so we go retire, and someone's a... Someone bigger... So, okay, it's kind of this. Should I take the torch, or should I just die and not good to no one? In the film.
Well, he got married at the end of the Crystal Skull, remember?
Yeah. I remember. And now everybody's mad at me. And now everybody's mad. Wait, we have to... Okay. I'm going to react to them all in the Jones 5.
Is it like an all-girl team thing going on with the new one?
No, Indiana Jones 5, The Duel of Destiny.
Okay, who's the main character? The daughter?
Indiana Jones.
Well, no, I know, no. Of Duel of Destiny, who's gonna be the person doing all the adventures?
Indiana Jones and his daughter.
Okay, alright. So it's not just gonna be... As long as it doesn't fucking sideline Indy and basically make her the main focus of the whole thing. But
just look how they did with Luke and the new Star Wars films. I guess.
Yeah, basically, don't go the direction that the Last Jedi and the Star Wars movies did. I do not want that. I mean, if this is gonna be the movie, if they're gonna do that, I wish this would be the final movie.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? The Obi-Wan movie the new Obi-Wan movie that came out.
TV series.
Like a month ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you believe that it doesn't? Obi-Wan is not the main character of his own fucking movie.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this damn girl partying with the Sith army that's just turned rebellious. That the whole camera pan is just on her. That's called Obi-Wan.
So what they're doing here is they're making a character that the people they're trying to bait in. It's a bait and switch. They're baiting in people that want to see Obi-Wan, the actor that is Obi-Wan, play Obi-Wan, and then they do a switcheroo, kind of like what they did with The Last Jedi, where they baited us in with Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia, and they killed off all three characters, and hey, but there's Rey! Like that. That's what they're doing.
He's coming back in an upcoming Star Wars project, probably not, because we on Twitter or Instagram. Okay, Rey's actor, DM stuff got leaked recently, talking about he could come back for the film.
Rey?
Yeah.
Yeah. No one. I get most people. I didn't care for Rey as a character. I just found her kind of boring, right?
Oh, you avoid the actor.
She wasn't interesting.
She was not interesting to slightest. She barely did anything remarkable or impactful in the whole series that she was in.
Oh my God.
So what?
It was just one of those characters that just brought in like a different type of audience that wasn't even for the right audience that grew up with Star Wars in the first place. It was a different kind of audience.
I found something you might don't hear this, but we not in the film anymore.
Who? Rey's not in the film anymore?
He's not Buff, not gonna be a film.
Okay, yeah, well he probably didn't want to be in it. Maybe they couldn't get him. I don't know.
No, Muttley confirmed. No, Muttley.
Okay.
Wait, Star Wars. Okay, so if you want to play about old friends, like Indiana Jones or Avatar.
Okay, so Najee, I got a question. Have you seen the original trilogy of Star Wars?
Yes.
Like I'm talking about the first, like the Empire Strikes Back and the other two movies part of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay, did you watch the prequel movies like
yes.
Okay, all the way through?
Yes.
Okay, so like characters like in the classic, like Han Solo were iconic, played by Harrison Ford, and Luke was well liked too. But what I don't like, a reason why I don't really like these, I agree with the statement. I didn't like these. The only reason I really didn't, I think the effects were great, and some of the space battles were fucking awesome. But what I didn't like about the fucking the prequel movies, even though when it had Han Solo, he fucking dies like halfway towards the end. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought he was back. And then here's another thing. Remember the build up? If you grow in the sequel movies, you remember the build up to Snoke? How they're making they advertised in the first movie as this big ominous.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, I'm talking about Snoke, the bad guy that attempted Leia and Solo's son away from them to the dark side. The one that that bad guy, this big and bad emperor of the Empire.
Was that in the prequel? The
sequel movies. The alien dude, the big Sith alien dude, the big hologram of him, who's giant, and you finally see him on his ship with Rey and Kylo Ren is there. Kylo Ren has him killed with Rey's lightsaber. He fucking dies sitting on his throne before getting up and dishing up any fight. There was no fight. All this build up to this big bad Sith Lord, and he fucking dies so easily. There was no. It's like, what the hell happened? You know?
Yeah, I'm basically calling the new series a no sequel because that's all it is. It's a no sequel.
Yeah, dude. They built Snoke up to this big, intimidating threat. And in the end, he didn't do anything, right? So there was no fight, dude. Like the other Star Wars movies and the prequel movies, which are not necessarily well liked, had more action with these characters. Hell, General Grievous had more action with him than Snoke did.
Yeah.
Dude, those are the two things I hated about those movies. They killed off all the original cast. Now, granted, one was dying of cancer. One died of cancer, so that was Leia. But other than that, there was no excuse to even though Harrison Ford didn't want to play Han Solo. He was sick of it. He hated that role. But so that's kind of understandable. But why fucking kill off Luke? There was no reason for it. So they want you to focus on their new idea of Star Wars. So they bait you in.
Yeah,
they bait you in with
people.
they bait you with the original. All the old people bring new people in that want to see these. Oh my God, they're returning. This would be awesome. Only to make their screen time a waste by killing off all three.
Don.
Yeah.
I think something from general chat. It's massive news.
Let me look at it.
And here's the film of it. It takes place 100 years.
Yeah, 100 years before. Yeah, you told me Star Wars spin-off. The Acolyte will be the first Sith-led. It's about Sith.
Yeah, Disney's wrestling now. All time.
Well, it actually is different.
Yeah, Disney. Part I'm worried about.
Oh no! Don't get Disney involved. No.
No, well, Disney owns Star Wars now. At this point, it owns Star Wars.
That's even worse.
You didn't know they own Star Wars? They're the ones that put out that trash of a sequel series.
No, I was kind of wondering who actually owns Star Wars now that the non-series is so bad.
It's owned by Disney. That's why we're seeing a lot. Okay,
that's why the non-series is the most trashful series of Star Wars.
Now, I thought the Mandalorian was fucking epic, and a lot of people like the Mandalorian, right?
Oh, Mandalorian beats the new series of Star Wars.
Well, that Mandalorian was also, I think, is also owned by Disney, but it's actually pretty good. But did you see the Book of Boba Fett? Was it half of all the episodes in the series keep going back to the damn Sand People? I fucking hate talking about the damn Sand People. I'm tired of seeing it. I want to see more action. Another thing, Boba Fett. Was he nerfed? Was he nerfed or something? Boba Fett had was more kick-ass in The Mandalorian than he was in the Book of Boba Fett about him. He was so easily misdirected over and over again. God, it was awful. The only few episodes I liked were the last few where some real shit and action was going on. Boba Fett rode the man core, was riding the man core or something, and killing people.
Did George Lucas retire?
Yeah, he did. He fucking sold Star Wars to them, but I guess they didn't. I don't know the details, but people are, I guess the whispers, the grapevine things, stories I heard through the grapevine were that I guess they weren't very forthcoming about what they intended to do with it, and they changed everything about it and uncanonized the extended universe.
Oh
I
yeah.
sort of
Oh,
see
by the way,
that,
by the way,
I also think
George
that George
Lucas.
Lucas.
Hold
didn't
on,
really
one
see
at a
that.
time. What did you say, Bob?
I mean, I sort of see him retiring that he didn't know what to do, but I also feel like George Lucas didn't even know what was going to happen to Star Wars.
Yeah, I heard
and
he
probably
tried
knows of what's happened to
after
it.
the sequel trilogy. I heard he tried to pitch an idea to Disney that, hey, can you use this instead and make this a replacement since the other one, well, it doesn't add up, right? I mean, he tried to make something else that presented to Disney that would have been a better idea, but they shot it down and said no. You know, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't take it. They wanted their idea of Star Wars.
And here's the thing about this: it was like you see Disney say that, oh, we care about stuff, and then but also one more thing, Don.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Bob Iger. Yeah, I know that the CEO stepped down. Actually, a lot
That's a
of
good thing, right?
no, not the way you think, right? So a lot of the policies in place at Disney, the way it was going, the direction was who's the guy that stopped down? Who stepped down? What's his name?
Bob Chapek,
And who was the guy taking over?
Bob Iger.
Okay, so Bob Iger, all those policies, the way Disney does things, was originally set in place by Bob Iger. Bob Jacob Paycheck, just fuck his name. Bob, the other Bob, took over after him during when he stepped back because of the pandemic, right?
And
So,
also, here's the thing.
this is not gonna.
He's part of that anti-gay bill. Also.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one.
I'm sorry.
I don't know all the details on that one.
That bill's a load of garbage and untrue.
Well, yeah,
just
I
saying that.
I don't want to get into the deep discussion about it because I don't know personally. But
I know.
my understanding,
Nobody wants to
my
hear it.
understanding, yeah, we're not gonna talk about it because it's gonna Twitch is not gonna care. But anyways, they're gonna. I fear that bill is like vastly it's not what people are saying it is. It is and it isn't, right? There's specific details. Like I guess basically it's anti. It's to prevent people from teaching their kids about certain subjects without their consent. I mean, hell,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go into the short version. Okay, so when you take sex ed in school, you need the consent of the parents, right? Why, if it's just a form of that, then why is it different? That's the question. This bill is probably that's my understanding. Do you know what I mean?
Here's a question on top of that question. If that's the case, why the hell are we teaching kids political nonsense?
That's because the
No,
political.
there's
No,
really
no,
no
no,
excuse for that.
there's no excuse. But I know why when it goes on the topic of political nonsense in general, the reason why they're pushing that in school is because they're also trying to dumb down kids so that they're more easy to manipulate and make them vote the way they want them to secure.
No,
So these politicians to secure their future and further power positions in their position for as long as they want. And no matter how, and they'll keep promising a bunch of golden tickets to all these people, but they only give out little bits and only bits of what they're promised, and then they often promise a lot of things that they can't deliver on.
You know what's funny? And like they're wondering why there's not many teachers willing to teach kids no more. Like why schools are nearly coming out of business.
Yeah, well, okay, that's okay. So I think a lot of the schools are not taking that. I think that's because of the teachers union, but they're probably receiving money to keep kids out of school. I don't know. They're trying.
The main reason is that teachers don't want to work at these schools because they're forcing these political and gender nonsense to these young kids that literally just they're not mentally ready for all of it.
No, well, yeah, okay, there's a certain age. There's a certain.
I'm not saying that they're all like really memory impaired. I'm saying literally we're talking about 13-year-old kids, if not like younger than that age gap.
Well, here's the thing. I think a 13-year-old. Well, this is my personal view. A 13-year-old can understand that to a degree. The discussion about that, but I'm still my problem is the kind of questions I keep hearing at a lot of these schools. The kind of questions that end up on their sheets are very sexually specific. And like they're basically asking kids as young as probably like 10 or younger, what is your favorite sexual position? Like what the fuck, you know? Like that's the kind of question. That's the kind of questions that are on these sheets.
That's why these teachers literally don't want to work at these schools, because they're wasting their efforts and their time teaching these kids these horrible things that they do not need to learn so early in their age.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's the thing. That kind of question, I don't care. I think even an adult would feel the same way. Why would I want to answer a question like that? Like, would you sign that on a job application? No, because I would feel very uncomfortable answering questions like that. That could be a form of sexual harassment, too. You know, like no, anyone would be regardless.
Like what? It's personal information. Why would you need to know that specifically from a child?
Exactly. Like that's why a lot of people are uncomfortable.
See a lot of these red flags happening in schools.
Okay,
like,
so
what?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think there is a certain age, and no, it's not a child. Maybe. Okay, mid-teens. When you're in your high school, you learn sex ed. You learn.
This is a thing being taught in school.
No, okay. See, here's the thing. Let's talk about sex ed for a minute. I learned sex ed, and that just talked about, you know, the human anatomy, how things work, and how this. Yeah. But these things aren't the same as that. That's the thing. Yeah, they're like fetish questions being asked to like toddlers that you don't ask a toddler a question.
How is this shit not flagged? Like, how is any of
okay? So
what you're saying not flagged at all. These are things that really push away from.
What's up, Nachi?
I gotta get some sweep.
Okay. Yeah. So it is definitely kind of gross. Honestly, I'm not against.
No, but the big issue about that is that these are red flags that you literally cannot even talk to these kids about.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Because these have to be under parents' consent.
Exactly. Bob, can I go? I want to go into deeper discussion this just for a moment, but not dwell on the topic too much, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay, so they're doing this, and let me say my whole point before we talk to. Let me say my whole point first. Don't interrupt. So they're doing this because they're trying to be representative, and they're trying to do this in ways of kind of supporting, you know, maybe like, you know, gay, queer, or trans communities, right? Which okay, fine. Yeah, I know. You know, I'm like, okay, fine, but here's the problem: when you're asking these questions to trying to make inclusion like that by including these topics and questions asked to children, you're actually not doing those communities a favor. For years, and still to this day, they've been accused. A lot of these queer communities have been accused of being sex offenders when they're not. And when you're trying to push this shit in there and get let's do representation by doing this. Getting people on board with it, you're gonna just facilitate and reinforce that false standard about false belief that the queer community are somehow sex offenders when they're not. That majority no, they're not. Now, and keep in mind, like literally anyone can be a sex offender. They don't even have to be part of that community. They can be like literally anyone. Like that's just a fact. But you're not doing that community any favors. You're not helping them. You're not helping them get representative. You're actually tarnishing their reputation and making it harder for the community. I'm pretty sure there's probably a sizable part of that community that doesn't even want this shit. Like who's actually really pushing it? That's the good question, you know?
My biggest question of all is like who actually like greenlit this shit?
Someone did.
Actual fuck greenlit that? Like, everybody can be whatever the hell they want, but literally forcing them to learn that is a terrible way to learn about it, like worse ways of learning that it's terrible. Especially the like, look, sex ed, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but you don't even teach. They don't even teach sex. They don't even teach sex ed to like. They won't teach sex ed to like toddlers. They're just going to go into like babies.
Approaching it from that direction is just really a bunch of red flags. Like, this is shit that needs to be taken to the parents, and I don't understand how parents are okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell are you teaching my kid all these, like, gender and sexualities, like, in political nonsense? Why the hell are you teaching my kid this? He's like in his 10 years, and you're teaching him all this nonsense.
Dude, like, keep in mind, they keep on to go younger and younger. When they're like a baby, they're not going to understand this, and if they do take in the information, they're not going to be able to properly process it anyway. It's going to cause a great deal of confusion, and I think depending on what kind of questions are being asked and what they're being told about, you can end up traumatizing this child. You know?
Oh, definitely traumatizing. Yeah.
You're like you fucking okay. So, like, it's like, oh man, I gotta tell you, it's like they're trying to normalize something. They're trying to normalize this, and we know what they're trying to normalize. And here's the other thing. So teachers can teach you that without consent, but if you try to teach your own kid that, you'd probably go to jail. You know?
It's so fucked up either way. The teacher's teaching them that nonsense. That's a big red flag, and nobody cares about that.
No. Most people, I think, do care. I think the people that are trying to push for it and trying to say, "Oh, you're just hating our community," are either they're grossly misinformed, or they're. Oh man, I was getting to a point, but I forgot what part of it. I thought I was getting to. Point is, I feel like people need to really step back and really examine this situation for what it is, and people shouldn't be pushing for this as a positive thing, because it's only gonna only reinforce false beliefs that the queer, trans, and like communities are somehow creeps when they're not. Like I have interacted with numerous.
They're pushing that agenda as more than just.
Here's what it is. Shit. Here's on social media. Okay, so you might get some people really signal boost on social media. A lot of them are bad actors. They're pretending to be LGBTQ, but really they're hiding behind the banner, and that really all they are people trying to pretend like they're trans or whatever they say they identify as. They're trying to garner support for their real intentions, right? So they're trying to normalize it. I think that's what's part of what's going on, and I think there's. Or do you know what I'm saying, Bob? Like they're bad actors pretending to be. It's like okay. It's like me. Okay, say for instance, say I was a creep. Well, let's not say that. Imagine a creep come up and say doing all this stuff, and then fucking trying to say he's gay to try to get people to support him. Like, okay, well, I identify as this, so you know, I think I should be like okay, here's a better example. I'm tripping over myself. There was people on social media that were trying to normalize pedophilia, right? And what they were doing, yeah, they do this all the fucking time, and they call themselves They call themselves maps. They tried to make their own flag, and they tried to include themselves in LGBTQ. No one fucking wants that. No one in the LGBTQ really wants that. Okay, especially people. So I think the ones that are really pushing, this, are really vocal, or ones that are just trying to excuse their bad behavior and say, "Well, I'm this, so I think I should be represented and protected." No,
at this point,
there's a difference.
I'm about ready to save up a fuckload of money, work like 10 jobs just to get that money, and move the hell out of this country. If they're gonna legalize pedophilia, I'm out.
Yeah,
out.
They're trying to normalize people so they can legalize it. That's what I'm thinking they're trying to do. And there's
too fucking bad. Get those people out.
Dude, it's corruption at the highest. It's corruption at the highest level.
No, it's moronity.
No, it's moronity, but it's also corruption at the highest level that's allowing them to go this far.
It's still moronity. There's no other way or positive way to look at it. It's just stupid. Like okay, identify whatever you want. That's not my problem. The problem is that these pedophiles are literally trying to hide under such conditions, even go in the damn community saying, "Oh, they're part of the force." No, they're not. They're trying to get these young kids that are also part of these this community. It's not right. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It's all wrong. It's all pathetically wrong and disgusting, and people are allowing this in school and in the community. It's all fucking wrong.
Yeah, dude.
People really need to wake up and realize that what we're allowing is a lot of fucking, if not a pothole of crimes.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm not. Let's not talk. That's a whole subject. I'll talk about off stream. But yeah, dude. They're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to.
They're trying to legalize crimes. That's it. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, they're trying to. I mean,
trying to legalize crimes. I'm not. That's the only way I see that.
Yep.
Like it was once a crime. Now it's not a crime no more, but it's still a crime hiding under a. That is so fucked.
Dude, like they're
Now
not helping.
Shit.
They're not helping those the LGBTQ. That's considered like a type of marginalized community, right? Like kind of. Like, am I wrong about that?
Now I feel bad for them. Now they're not safe.
No, they're not. They're not safe.
But now they're not safe.
Yeah, these people that are signal boosting. Oh, we need to support these lives. Yeah, you need to support them, but promoting that kind of stuff for the garner support is actually doing damage. It is not supporting them. You're working against them, and I think most of them understand that. But the ones that probably do want to come out about either get silenced or canceled. And because there's so many people trying to, a lot of this shit unfolds on social media like Twitter. Okay, so I don't pay attention to those communities, but I'm aware of them, right? Like there's certain communities like dude, I was posting this a server like they posted there was a map Twitter handle that came up and they're talking about all this stuff. They're talking about what they believe they are, and what they should support, and what should be included, and like and fucking like people like ratioed them the hell back, and they got their account deleted because they're actively promoting. They're trying to promote, basically, they're trying to justify and promote the act of molestation. Like what the fuck? Like it was.
No, they're trying to promote crimes to make it legalized.
Yeah, well, they're trying to normalize it. They're trying to change public opinion. And they try to use different words to explain what they do, but it's still.
That? Now I see why you have these movies that came out called what the hell is it? The Purge. Now you got movies like the Purge movies, even knockoffs of that. Like that's slowly coming true, man.
I've never seen this.
That is slowly coming true.
I've never seen that movie actually.
It's basically any crime that was a crime is legal to do for like 24 hours.
Imagine if that actually became a thing. Oh my god.
No, that's the thing. We're slowly going into that. Believe it or not.
Oh, you mean like how you mean like how the soft on crime policies were like fucking...
How school is literally legalizing like political and sexual talk to young kids in schools. How
it's not just that. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are being allowed. There's a lot of things that are being allowed.
Like how pedophiles are trying to legalize themselves into the LGBTQ community themselves, and some of them defending the pedophiles as like a right thing. It's horrible, man.
Yeah, it's something that goes on social media.
We're slowly going into the purge.
Yeah, was it fucking like? Did you see some of the crime that's been happening? Like the soft on crime policies have been bringing about. Like they releasing these people after they commit multiple crimes. Some of them killed people, and they're releasing them out of prison, and they just either go home or they do it again. Like there's one guy I think got released like 2 or 3 times, killed 2 or 3 times. You know, like they kept doing it. They kind of released him. Like what? Remember that? Okay, remember the guy that drove through those Christmas protests, those Christmas parade last year?
I think so.
Yeah, if he was originally arrested for trying to run over his wife with the very same SUV. And I think running over with a car I think after shooting at his kid or something. And then he got a release under no cash bail. So no, they just let him out, right? No, that wasn't it. No, they made his bail 10,000, which is an easy thing to bail. So he got bailed out. Made his bail just stupid low. So he got out and then ran over those not protesters. He ran over those Christmas parade people in the street with the same SUV he tried to kill his wife with. Fuck that. This is the kind of shit that's going on. It is going on every fucking day. They're trying. I get it. They're probably trying to get support for probably criminals because like some criminals have been like mistreated in prison like really badly by maybe some people there. But that doesn't mean you make no consequences. Whoa, you go free. You might kill 10 people, but it's okay because you know only 10 people. Like
I'm telling you, man, we're slowly arriving into the Purge movies.
Yeah, imagine if it gets to that point.
Everyone is getting to that point, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's probably to get
Like
close. It's probably
they might
they're
not-
allowing for
they
stuff
might
here.
not see it that way, but from what I've been seeing and hearing from like many different angles, even just by not looking it up, I hear and see it sometimes, even on the news that goes on. We're slowly approaching that area.
Yeah, so
Believe it,
basically,
it's
they're
slowly.
trying to legalize crime more and more. Like, how far is it going to go until like it's
That's
complete
exactly what they're doing.
until it's absolute complete lawlessness and anarchy? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't. We're slowly losing rules that that literally kept us in our place for a lot of good benefit reasons for so long. We're slowly losing that, and we're slowly having these people go crazy and legalizing crime. Not just one crime, but every single one.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it's going to go to.
Like
And
we're slowly
honestly,
arriving to the first
I'll
rules.
put this. I know this gets into a discussion about religion a little bit. I don't know too much about the specific verse, but like the Bible goes into how there'll be lawlessness in the end. You know, like so it's fucking. If it's thinking it's during the purge, it is, but it's also some of the stuff that's happened is kind of in line of what's written in that Bible. You know, like you start to look at it, and you feel like, oh shit, you know, like
Maybe there were things that did happen, but they're probably predictions.
well,
Or
yeah,
just
well, some of them are prophecies of things to come in this world before its time comes to an end, right? Like there's gonna be lawlessness. It even talks about like earthquakes, like the winds that are being held back will be released upon the earth. So I guess there'll be like worst storms in this world has ever seen before. It also says there'll be great persecution of Christians, unlike anything the world has ever seen before. Well, God's people, so it means not just Christians, but also the. Am I referred to the Jewish people? But it was unlike anything this world's ever seen before. So, like, take Hitler and then amp it up to something that's never been done throughout history, and a lot worse. You know.
Honestly, what's happening now is probably the worst thing we could ever seen in our lives.
If it's well, the thing is,
Like aside from the obvious problems that we've had over the years, this literally takes the cake. We're literally slowly turning into the Purge movies, and we're trying to legalize crimes.
Oh, I get the argument.
Like that's what's happening, and nobody sees that. They're too blind and stupid to realize that what they're doing may seem like the right thing to do, but it's literally changing everything around them. It's not just them or their friends or family. It's everyone in the world that's suffering because of those right morals.
Right.
It's just. It's
so
okay. It's hard to say, but that's how it is.
My understanding is like people try to call these changes progressive, right? Okay, how is it progressive when it's regressive? How is it progressive when it goes fucking backwards? You know.
Well,
that's the problem.
I've done some stupid things myself, but I don't think I've ever stepped this. This takes a cake. This is like worse than what I've done online.
Yeah. That's true.
It's not like I might repeat the same thing I'd done years ago, but I don't think so. And like I'm more in control of myself. All these people, they're not right in the head. They really need more help than me and my problems.
Yeah, I think what it is, a lot of social media peer pressure. They're trying to. I once said this. Like, there's a lot of people that want to be part of the civil rights movement. They want to stand up for injustices. But it's like all the big causes, the really noble ones, have been fought for and are already have people representing them. So they're trying to grab onto whatever they think they can get them some kind of personal position for themselves, the kind of benefit for the benefit themselves. They're trying to benefit. It's like this.
Hold on a minute. What? Just going back a little bit on religion. Why did Jesus sacrifice himself?
Okay. Let me tell you something. Okay, here's the thing. So he came to redeem humanity of its sins. Now we're talking about all manner of sin, past, present, and future, and currently the shit we're seeing now, right? He did. He did.
It was the past.
No, okay, he did it in the past. Right? So he's God. By letting himself be killed, he made himself the ultimate sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb, and paid for our sins and every sin we would commit upon the planet in blood. So that way we may find forgiveness for our sins, regardless about how horrible the sin was, right? This is not about... Now, keep in mind, when you're forgiving your sin, and if you continue to sin, keep going back into your crap, then you kind of nullify your salvation. Now, if you don't repent of that and stay in your funk like that for the rest of your life, then you're basically screwing yourself out of your eternal salvation, which He paid for in blood. Do you understand?
I think, and this is a huge steep theory of mine, but I think since the level that we're at right now as a human race, I think that how did He do a first coming or a second coming?
Okay, I gotta look in the details of the second coming. I think the second coming has to do with His return. When He comes back for His people,
I think that I think this might be the time, man. Like
that's fun. That's funny you should say that, because a lot of churches teach that we're in those last of days times, right? So you can see it by like some of the stuff coming to pass that's written in that book, and we're in that time frame where there's war and rumor of war, and this and all this lawlessness has happened. It's getting closer and closer now. God did not specifically name when He would return to rapture His people, right?
Yeah.
And He specifically did it for this reason, right? So, there's a scripture that refers to it. The scripture talks about, why does the master of the house not inform his vassals when he shall return? If he did, then they would lay in it. They may lay in his bed, steal from him, and be laying down on the job when they're supposed to be doing their work, right? So you gotta stay. They gotta stay ready. For us as Christians, we gotta stay ready and practice righteousness with as best as we can, and be repentant of our sins. If we're just lazily going about it, doing lawlessness all the time, and we know when Master comes, would say, "Oh, I repent, and go to heaven." It doesn't work that way. You gotta be constantly vigilant, right? So that way you're constantly guarding your behavior to be righteous enough to be clean enough, passable enough. Not perfect, but passable enough to be worthy of the kingdom of heaven, of your heavenly inheritance with God, right? So it's kind of like if you're on the job, right? Say the boss is coming in, but he's not telling people. Now he expects you to be a certain way. He's not necessarily always going to tell you when he's going to drop by. He wants you to always be to do your job, even when he's not around. Now, if you always know where he's going to be, when he's going to be there, you could be slacking the whole time and only seem like you're doing your work when he's around. You understand the same reasoning? So it would be stupid to inform when exactly he's coming back. So that's when it refers to the second coming of the rapture.
But I think of all the times before it gets any worse, we need that other coming, dude.
There's gonna be a point, but here's the thing: there's only one way to get to heaven. You have to be reborn through the water and the Spirit. That means being baptized in the name of Lord Jesus. Full water immersion for remission of your sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. Baptized, be repentant. So repent for your sins, be baptized, and you're made clean. Once you do that, you receive the Holy Spirit, and that allows you to enter the kingdom of God as long as you repent and have that, right? So it basically seals the deal. It shows you're marked with God's mark, that you have the ticket to get into heaven. It's not based on whether you're a good person or not. Because you're saved by grace, not by works. So your own works do not save you. Now you need to show good works and be saved by grace, but it's not simply by works. So you need to perform and do well. That doesn't necessarily. See, you can be a good person, give to the poor, cast out demons, pray for people, but if you do not show your you should make that oath to God by receiving the gift of the Holy Ghost, by being baptized and being repentant, then that's going to keep you out of heaven, because it's going to weigh you down. By doing that and be repentant, it exonerates you of the weight of sin. Now, it doesn't mean you will never sin again, but you have to be repentant. And repentant is not just apologizing; it's the turning away from your bad behavior and sin, right? So if you continue to indulge in it, it's gonna, even if you're baptized, it will still weigh you down and probably keep you out of the book of life. Let's put it that way.
I think I'm long overdue, way past that point, because I've done some stupid things.
Here's the point. It doesn't matter really what you did in the end. You have your whole life to come to God. If you come to God and accept what I've just said, within the time you're still alive, then you'll probably make it into the kingdom of heaven. Right?
I did go to him when I was in extreme pain in my jaw.
Well, he did help you for a brief time. He's not. Now there's some. Now he could he can make it stop permanently, but then there's a chance you won't receive medical attention to address the long-term issues of it. So
the thing about that is, and that's like the biggest question to me all the time. I don't know if he did it temporarily or permanently, because all I said was that, help me out with this pain, at least let me sleep, and then afterwards I said okay, it's gone, but at least help me through with it until I get it treated, and then you can stop.
Okay.
And all of that was in a prayer, so I don't know if he actually hurt me.
He probably did. Okay, so regardless of what your prayer is or where you are, he hears you. His awareness is ultimate and omnipresent. It doesn't matter where the hell you are in life, what you've been doing, or where the hell you are. You could be in a cave, locked in caved in, and he will hear your prayer. Now, there's some people in the Bible that for instance, Paul, he had a thorn, a pain in his side or whatever, he had an injury, and he constantly had God address, but God said no. Now, I'm not sure the details, but he probably let him experience that as a form of building up his strength. So sometimes God will use your worst situations to increase your wisdom, understanding, and sometimes your strength to better handle the obstacles of life that inevitably come your way in this fallen world. You understand?
Yeah, I get that.
Since sin entered the garden, when Adam and Eve sinned, when they disobeyed and ate for the tree of life, which it was an act of disobedience. They chose to do it their way, the devil's way, when he suggested they should do it by saying, "You will be as gods." He lied to them and tricked them, but they had enough awareness to know they're not to eat from that tree, but they did anyway, and because of that, they saw each other's shame. And then they lied to God when they said they didn't know what had happened, basically, right? So, because of that action, it had forever tainted mankind in this current world we are in this life, and that's why because of that taintedness saturated every aspect of nature, earth, and people and animal. That's why things are so chaotic, and that's why they're constantly getting worse. Because sin is saturated in the very fiber of this existence right now. And that's not going to change until once God comes for his people again, the old world's going to pass on and a new world will be born in its place. And that will be without it.
The thing of that story is that I think it was meant to happen anyway, and that, anything, you can't have light without darkness.
Well, okay, so in the current world, the way the system works in this current world, yes, light doesn't exist without darkness, but light doesn't. Okay, so. They work, they kind of, okay, for instance, so, I don't know how to explain it. I had it in my head once, I thought about this very same subject, I don't know how to explain it, but darkness doesn't exist because of light. It is, essentially the devil and all the stuff he does, it's not a creation, it's a perversion of what was good and turned into something disgusting and deplorable. And the reason why there's so many sins isn't because God made sins, he didn't. But the devil came around and perverted so many things. He made disgusting forms of what already existed, and those things are abomination unto God. And he's created so much shit. So much deplorable, unhuman shit. Like fucking the fucking things Hitler did is because the devil exists in the world. Now, because of the shit he's done. So he's made all manner of evil and influenced the hearts and minds of many all over the world. Deceived great many. So that's why there's so much sin, because he keeps spewing out new shit. So it's something everything that's basically sin is essentially, the definition of sin is basically anything that is a perversion of God's natural order and how he created things, right? So anything deviating from that, how it's intended to go, is considered sin and has a tendency to kind of eventually completely consume the individual involved. Eventually, or in some cases that sin can pass on to their kids and children, right? Like basically, a man that hates God, his hatred will be passed on to his son, and he wants to hate God, and that's called a generational curse. The only way they break that is if that son decides, okay, I'm going to accept God into my life, and that generational curse stops at him at that point. God didn't essentially curse him; he cursed himself by blatantly rejecting God and everything he stands for and hating him. You understand? Because God is the creator. He created all things that breathe. Now, how he created man is different how he created from animals, right? Animals and every existing thing other than us were created simply by him speaking it, let there be light, and then it was. Let there be a crawling thing and flying thing in the air, and unless it came into existence, he has that kind of power to breathe and to create existence just simply by his words, right? However,
so like in a funny way, he kind of made Australia very terrible.
No, okay, no, that if it's terrible,
animals and creatures there are just so inhumanely disturbing that it
yeah,
makes no sense.
You know what?
Before
That's what I mean by sin infesting the world, right? So when sin came in, it perverted, it affected everything, even animals. So basically, that's why those things probably weren't harmful at the beginning, but once sin came in, things became dangerous. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, which I know, I don't know the whole story why God allows for certain things, but I think it's just, I think man has to go through these things because the sin came in. So anyways, what else? What was it getting at? What was it getting at before you said Australia? It's perfect.
I don't really know, but like that's like that was like one of my biggest questions. Like I was thinking, like, okay, maybe he actually did something to help me out there, or maybe it was my body that finally kicked in.
Okay, so he did, dude. He probably did relieve the pain. Like I've had him help me with stuff too before when I prayed for it. Actually, there's a lot of stuff I prayed for that I hope to get at some point, and eventually I ended up getting it and have enough money for it, or maybe wait for some things I've waited for. I had to wait a while, but it eventually came my way, right? So it's not like he does nothing. A lot of times he grants my small prayers. The bigger stuff I think is going to take a while because I need my mom put it this way, like he's probably waiting for you to help you develop the mental maturity and strength to handle those bigger things. So he could just give it to you, but if you're unable to handle it, then it's just going to crash and burn you. Like that's
I was really trying to like in some way the Tylenol wasn't working. I ran out of it. My body developed an immunity to it, so I had to literally just like suffer there and try to bear with it. But it was just too much that I literally could not handle it. I just wanted sleep. Like I was slowly developing sleep deprived from it. It's like I just wanted to sleep. It was like in the middle of the night, and I was like trying to hold in my tears because
I remember. It was
so painful.
I was in pain. I felt like I had knives in my head, but when I have my teeth, that's why I had to get them removed. I eventually found a good dentist after months, and finally got them removed. And like finally, the pain's gone.
Oh my god! When they said they took the literal roots out of my teeth, I was like, wait a minute. And then they showed me it's like in this red cone, a screw that like is specifically for the roots. Like they screw it in your tooth after drilling a hole, and then it's like that. You barely feel it. It's like a tiny pinch, and it just disappears.
Yeah.
I was like telling him, like, oh my god. I was like speechless. Like he literally showed me the aftermath. It's like, wow, those are my roots literally hooked on a plastic screw.
Yeah.
Like literally in a fucking loop around and shit. But like before that, I really thought that like my body finally did some numbing process of it. But then like it only happened after I did the prayer.
Yeah, dude, that's God working. Okay, like
same thing I told your mom. It's like I only wish I knew that information earlier. He would have helped me with my sciatica issue, but I had to bear with it anyway.
Maybe you found out at the right time. Maybe earlier you may have been kind of skeptical and not really willing. Like sometimes, I feel like I know God. I've been told this, and I think in some situations, like God will use our desperation to grow us closer to Him, and that is actually for our. Keep in mind that's for our eternal salvation. So it's for a benefit in the long term, right? So, But the way man is stubborn, he will not come to God a lot of times unless things get so bad where he has to, right? But keep in mind, God cares about your immortal soul greatly. So, like. If you lose out on your eternal paradise, like keep in mind, like going to hell is kind of like a choice in a way, because essentially when you reject God and everything about Him, and that relationship, and you never accept that, you're essentially denying your heavenly inheritance, right? Because keep in mind, He is both the gatekeeper and the master of the house of heaven, right? So. You think of it this way. Imagine if you say, "Oh, I'm a good person. I deserve to come in," but you never did. You never had a relationship with that person. They're not going to let you into their house. And while He knows you, I guess you say he is aware. I guess you say his acceptance of you is more like he knows of you, even though he knows you, right? But he doesn't know.
Yeah.
But since you don't have that relationship, why would he let you into his house? Like, you wouldn't let a stranger just walk into your house just because they say a good person. You need a relationship with the person, and when you do this, that baptize him and that become born again like that, you have that direct relationship with God. And then you're welcome in open arms as one of his children. You understand?
Yeah.
Like that, you need that relationship. You can't go inside someone's house unless you have a relationship with them. That's just common sense. So if you look at it that way, it makes more sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while he has ultimate knowledge and knows everything about you, it's also about making you clean, exonerated from those sins. So he does it way, and you got to pick that side. Like, I want the side of God. I don't want to lose out on heaven, and I do not want to entertain Satan by going the ways he was going things ago. And people don't realize this, but a lot of times, most of the times, going by the ways of man, the devil will try to convince us to go by the ways of man and philosophies of man and his ideology and way of life. And it just be like, well, I don't need God. I'll just go by what this good person, this philosopher said, and live by that. The problem with the ways of man is the devil wants that too, but he wants it because he knows it leads us away from our eternal inheritance with God, right? So you're essentially going the devil's way when you try to go by man's ways alone, and only by man's ways. Because the devil will do anything. Sometimes the devil does this tactic where he won't directly tempt you with he won't grieve you with a bunch of problems. He'll actually leave you alone, but he only does that because you're right where he wants you. So as long as you're not, he doesn't feel like you're going near God, he'll leave you alone just so you won't be desperate enough to go to God. Do you understand? That's one of his tactics.
He definitely got me in my past experience.
Dude, he's gotten me with that many times. Even after you're saved, like sometimes he might do that to kind of give you less grief, to like kind of make you like, oh, well, things are going pretty well, so I don't need God. So then you're right where he wants you, and then basically, okay, see, the devil doesn't live in hell; he's in the atmosphere, right? He roams the earth, but he's afraid of ending up in hell. He knows he's going to get there, but he's knows he's going to end up there anyway. That's where he's going to be imprisoned in the lake of fire for all eternity, right? It's punishment for all the grievous things he's done and his rebellion against God when he used to be an angel. So he used to be an angel, right? So he's gonna do. So I think what he's effectively doing is he knows he's gonna lose. So he's kind of like a terrorist, right? He's planning to take as many people of God's children and God's creations down with him, as many as he could possibly get, and he's gonna get them stuck in the lake of fire with him, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's after that. He knows he's lost. He lost the day God let himself die on the cross temporarily, and rose from the dead later and paid for his sins in blood. He lost the war. He's a defeated enemy, but he's still dangerous and intends to take as many lives with him down to eternal damnation, right? That's where he is. That's another reason why I do not want to entertain him, right? I do not want to do the ways. I want to stick with God because, you know what? With God, I got the better deal. I'm not gonna get screwed over, but I'm not gonna get screwed over by this direct, indirect, manipulative, super mega Nazi asshole with horns at all.
The thing about that is, even if you like already have the plan set or just think about it, just like everyone in the world, they're just like it's just them waiting for the chance to manipulate you again.
What?
It just like some people in this world are just waiting for the chance to manipulate you again.
Yeah, dude, like that's the manipulation.
Not obviously lure you into a trap, like make it so obvious, but lure you into a trap trap.
Dude, like the devil has influence over many. Like I said, they call Satan the prince of the airwaves. They also call the prince of this world. He's not what you call an official prince, but God rules everything, right? But he's a prince in a sense. He's a prince of darkness. He rules over this current world in its sin, right? But he does not have rights to this world. So at the very end of it, he's going to lose it all, and he will die. He will be thrown in the pit, and anything that sided with him will go down with him. including the multiple angels that fell with him when he rejected heaven. He tempted them all away. A third of God's angels to come down with him. They were his demon followers, right? So they fell. They could no longer reside in heaven. They fell from it because that sin in them couldn't reside in heaven. So even by the way, even if someone that's been a terrible person in life and they find God and get redemption, they go to heaven. They can't be a bad person then because like, sin can't reside there. So if they were, they would fall from heaven just as he does, if that was even possible. Sin can't reside there. So it doesn't matter what that person did in life. All those horrible things, the things that made them that they did what they did, they wouldn't be able to commit or even conceive or want to do where they go. Right? It's a perfect paradise, devoid of all forms of perversion and sin. Right? The devil couldn't remain there because once he saw his own glory. He reflected the glory of God at one point when he was an angel. He was a musician angel. He sang songs for God, but he was encrusted with jewels and musical instruments. Like it was part of his body. He was beautiful beyond compare, but he became too haughty and prideful. Like, look at me, I'm so beautiful. I should be equal to God, but really wanted to replace God. He wanted to become God, and God said, not happening." And when he didn't get what he wanted, he manipulated and convinced a third of God's angels to rebel against God with him, and he was kicked out of heaven as a result. Do you understand? He had something. He had something beautiful. He can't be equal to God, but he had something beautiful. He had a great position, but that wasn't enough for him because of his self-pride. His pride's like me. I did this. I did that. I'm great. I'm better than you. That kind of pride, right?
Yeah.
That pride was disgusting to God. Like God couldn't look about it when he saw that iniquity and that pridefulness, everything that he was, and everything he did as a result, he got kicked out of heaven, and it basically then they were labeled as what they were. That's how they took on the name demons and devils, right? They are absolute disgusting. They're evil incarnate. Like they're like, and they're birds. Like if you look at the examples of the Bible, the demons that Jesus cast out, like there was one man that was living in a human. He was living in a graveyard, and he was driven mad by the multiple demons that were in his body. Crazy. He threw himself around, attacked people, foamed at the mouth. And when Jesus came along, he saw them, and he got down on his knees, and the demons spoke to him and said, like, you are God, are you not? Please do not. He said, please do not cast us into hell. Instead, send us into the pigs. They saw him and they were fearful of him. They fear God, right? Terrified. They hate him, but they're terrified of him, right? They were fearful, and so he cast them into the pigs, and the pigs, I guess, could not contain them. They went crazy and fell off the cliff into the water, right? The pigs, but like they didn't want to be sent they were sent out of the person, but they knew they couldn't stay there, but they didn't want to be put into. They didn't want to go to the hell, the lake of fire, the eternal imprisonment, right? Yeah. It wasn't their time. It wasn't their time to be put there anyway. But they were fearful when they saw him. They saw the Spirit of God in him. They terror, and they said, "Please send us into the pigs." And said, "Do not let us. We do not want to go there. It is not Judgment Day." You know? They're going to lose. They're eventually going to get all that. They're eventually going to get. They screwed themselves over basically, and they're going to get their just desserts in the end. And like basically things like the hell, like a fire, like described as. I guess it's called hell for a reason. It's basically worse than anything that could ever happen or be perceived on this earth. Like, it's eternal fire, gnashing of teeth.
Yep.
There's people that have claimed to have experiences after they died and came back to life that they saw that place and what was there was horrible. Like, it's basically, it's like a place, I guess it's a place, I've heard it described as a place that's devoid of God. And because it's devoid of God, it's a prison, it is devoid of God. There is no rest in there, and constant torment. It's pure torment. Like there's no rest and relief from the danger there. It's not like some people really glorify hell, like, oh man, let's go together, but no, you don't want to go there. Yeah, but anyways, I'm sorry. Am I getting too deep into this? I'm sorry, Bob.
No, you're fine.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just like,
yeah, dude, I'm still learning myself. There's things I don't know quite well, so if you like, I mean, I would suggest doing your own research, but you know, don't try to get it from biased sites that are trying to make an anti-point of it. If you want to get that, you want to get both sides, and get both sides, but try to at least understand it, you know. teach as much as you can learn about it. It's completely up to you. It's completely up to you what you do with it, though. I completely understand that. You know.
Yeah, no, it's just like it still sort of takes me by surprise that even if it was just one moment, it was a moment for me that was just like, why, what? It's like, well, like what happened? I was in so much pain, and I only and like it's just thought of it, and I did it, and it's just like I go back, so it's like, wait a minute, there's no way.
I got a question. Were you ever watching your question? What did I do to deserve this relief? Like
My big question was just like, how did it go away like that?
Yeah, well, as a call, didn't God talk to you once? Did God help you with a dream that was bothering you one time too? Like, keep in mind, like, I mean, if you're ever asking your question of the self, okay, after everything I've done, why would God pay attention enough to my prayer to relieve me of this pain?
Well, that was a question like later after that.
Well, here's why. You see, it's not about, like, once again, it's not about how do I put this? It's not about whether you've been a good or bad person, right? He relieves you. Remember, okay, he'll heal you because of his grace as well, right? It's not about whether you've been a good person. And keep in mind, he loves everyone, every human being upon the face of equal. He loves all of his creation. He loves humans especially. Because he didn't create man by simply speaking. He formed him from the dust of the earth he created and breathed life into him with his breath, right? So he took extra special care. He cares about his most cared about creation is humans, right? He does care about you, Bob. He cares about me. He cares about many around the world. Now he might care about his children that probably converted into his faith. I don't know, people use that word badly, like it's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing as long as it's not forced. But people that come over to God, that kind of accept God, he cares about his specific children in that department probably a great deal more because they have that relationship. He's closer. He has a closer relationship because they've accepted him in the relationship with them, right? But he still loves his children regardless. So he is a being of love. Like, a lot of people try to paint him differently, but I mean, there's still stuff I have questions about that I'm gonna try to look into. About, like, if you look at the Old Testament, there's a lot of examples of the wrath of God, and some of the stuff might seem dim as like, why would you do something like horrible? But they say he's the same today as he was yesterday in the future, so he's always the same. So it might have been like a lot of the stuff during that time period. He required a different standard back then, and then after he came down and died on the cross, the standards changed somewhat. There were certain things that were no longer practiced. There were certain things that were no longer practiced because they were no longer necessary since he became the ultimate sacrifice, right? Like animal sacrifice for atoning for sin was no longer necessary because he was the perfect sacrifice. He was the sacrifice to end all sacrifices, right? So so Jesus was 100% man, 100% God. He was the fleshly form of Christ, born of Mary, right? The Spirit of God inhabited him, and he came born into the world in human flesh at that one point in time, and then died. Now, when he died, he keep in mind he's omnipresent too, so he was both Christ on earth, and while he also remained at the same time in heaven. Kind of like, think of it like a cell splitting off of itself, having two cells, one in heaven, one on earth. And he did this to bridge the gap between man and God, right? That's why he did it in the first place. Died for our sins, and we were get cast into heaven. So yeah, he did that for that reason, and I was getting to something. I lost train of thought. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just like it's like it just makes you question. It's like, why? It's like you didn't. It's like, thanks for like helping me, but you really didn't have to. And I've done a lot of horrible things. Like either awareness or not aware, and like it's like, and even if I didn't think about it at the time when I had the sciatica, even if I didn't think about it, it was just that one moment. It's like, wait a minute. it's like wait a minute.
well,
I guess
keep this on mind. Keep this on mind. God loves you, and He created you, right? He wants you to have that relationship with Him, so that so that your soul is secure. So when that time that inevitably comes for all of us on Earth, when we pass away, we go to heaven and spend eternity with Him. Now, keep in mind, like he's also he died for your sins, so he understands the weight of sin and how it really affects each and every one of us in different ways. So even if you're a horrible shitbag, right? Keep in mind, he's not looking at your soul as worthless. He's also looking at the effects of sin on you, and he understands how gravely that sin has affected your being. So he's looking at the sin too, but when you're accountable to your sin, that's why you gotta repent, right? But he understands that sin is a hard thing to resist, because sometimes it looks all so tempting, and also you desire it, certain things, right? Like it's tempting. Like say someone badmouths, like you're tempted to fire back out and say all mean shit. But now that is a sin, right? They always now there's a time for fight and there's a time for fight. There's a season for everything, even the fight, right? But it shouldn't always be your go-to response. So that could be a sin when it's like that, as being within reason. So he understands the weight of sin and what it causes and how it influences man and his behavior. So he's understanding where it's coming from. He's not judging you wholly, but he needs you to repent of it still, nonetheless, to clean yourself up of that mess you're in, right? But he understands how it can influence people, how the devil influences people. So I think that's why he doesn't completely write us off as a lost cause, regardless of what we do. And the only time we're written off is if we die in our sin and never repent. Then at that point, there's no more forgiveness, because we've effectively wasted and squandered the time we have on earth to repent of our sins. So anything you do here on earth, good or bad, if you do something bad and you're unrepentant, it has direct consequences on you after you die, when you go to heaven or hell. Do you understand? Now you need to be baptized in the name of the Lord Jesus and have the Holy Spirit in you, but you also need to conduct yourself in a good manner. Do you understand?
I mean, I know that I've been baptized, but like.
Well, he doesn't expect you to be perfect, but you need those two things, you know?
The other thing is, like, how do I repent?
Oh, well, that's just, you could just say, God, I repent for sin. You're basically apologizing God for sin, and you're trying to turn away from those ways that are sin and try to behave better, you know? In the eye of the Lord. Not in the eye of man, but in the eye of the Lord. Now, this doesn't mean like go nuts and try to be absolutely perfect all the time, and oh my God, I sin, I'm going to hell, he's going to strike me down. He doesn't work like that. No, there's times where I've caught myself going into that delusion, but that's part of my mental illness. But I gotta kind of talk myself out of that usually, right? Yeah. But yeah, he's not all fire and brimstone all the time, right? So God is also slow to anger. He can't get angry, but he's really slow to anger. Something can take years from finally reacting to anger, but he does it out of love, right? So he's trying to see you do better. He's not doing it to destroy you. Now there's certain people that now he knows which individuals won't change. Sometimes some people that won't change, they keep doing wicked stuff. They can end up dying, right? And like because of their wicked ways, right? There's times in the Bible during the wrath of God. It was this one. I think there was this man, a king. He was mad. He didn't like one of God's children, so I can't remember his name. It was David or I can't remember what his name was. But he threw him in a lion's den, even though God warned him not to, right? Not to try to kill him, or try to kill someone. This king. And because he disobeyed the words of God and tried to kill him anyway, and keep in mind, he probably wasn't going to change. He's trying to keep doing it. So God wrote in blood on the. He left a message on his wall engraved in the stone saying, "Tonight your life will be required of you." So because of that, the king succumbed and died. Right? That was the wrath of God upon him because he tried to kill God's children. You don't fuck with God's children, right? Like even though you don't see the immediate consequences, it's going. If you're not repentant, you can end up. Worst case scenario, you can end up being killed by God. So he can kill, right? But keep in also mind that he's not all about the wrath of God. So he's won you. Now keep in mind all your consequences here on earth, and even will bear consequences. So say if you kill someone, right? You're going to suffer even if you're repentant. You're going to suffer you're still going to suffer the consequences of the judgment of man. Go to jail. You may still have some consequences. And on the note of consequences, when it comes to forgiveness, like God's particular about this too. Like you can't hold unforgiveness in your heart. Like even if someone wronged you, like keep in mind when you forgive someone, that doesn't mean you have to let them back in your life. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to forget about what they did, but you have to forgive them because that weighs you down. It becomes a grudge and a sentiment that it becomes vile and there's no place in heaven. Do you understand? Basically says if you cannot forgive others for their trespasses, neither shall I forgive you of yours. Keep in mind, God sacrificed His selfless sacrifice to die for your sins, and petition to save you from your sins that you may be made for heaven. That's the it basically. Why not? If someone was going to go that far to show that kindness to you, certainly you must show that kindness to others. Do you understand? It's like paying it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can't, yeah, forgiveness can be a hard thing to do even for me. I mean, at the time I say I've forgiven people, but sometimes I realize I haven't because I still feel a grudge way about it. It's a hard thing to do, but it's just something you got to really work at, right? Yeah. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not, like, it depends on what it is. Like someone could like fucking looks like beat you up in high school a lot, and then you come across later, and you want to slug them, but if you can forgive them, like you not only release them from that grudge, but you release yourself from that grudge, and it makes you basically you're not holding on to something that God doesn't want you to hold on to. And keep in mind that these grudges like that are not good for you. It's quite. I think you might agree that it's not worth it to hold on to a grudge your whole life because it doesn't only wear you down, weigh you down for going to heaven. It also wears you down physically, depending on the grudge, right?
Not that I've done it myself. I've literally seen people, and you know one of those people that's done that and
dude,
still doing it.
Yeah, dude. If it can fester and manifest a mental illness, right? Like it fucking destroys you. We can't handle this shit. Like mankind is not designed to hold sin onto them in this kind of behavior long term. After a while, it's going to eventually wear them down and crush them. You know.
The thing is, like, even if I'd done my fair share of horrible things to those people, like I literally later grew up from it, and I don't want to return to that. Like I can't realize that, but literally to like people to people like Hubcap, they're still holding on to that grudge.
Yeah,
today.
Dude. I'll be straight.
It's just
He needs...
it like as much as I like looking at it, it's like I don't really like. I don't care about all the things he's done to me now. It's like it's just like.
Listen,
holy shit, man.
I don't want to associate with him. I kind of like find him detestable. But you know what? I forgive him, but I don't want to be around him. You know?
I'd like same here. I forgive him, but I don't want to be around him. But like this, it's like the other thing comes to me. It's like I also like am wondering like. Is he ever going to be okay? Because he still has that grudge on me, man.
Yeah, dude. What he needs is he needs deliverance from God. Honest, I'll be straight on that one, in a big way. And honestly, dude, God could even change someone like that. He has before many people. Like, let's give an example. The disciple Paul. You know the name Paul from the Bible. Ever heard the name mentioned?
I think so.
He used to be called Saul before God named him Paul. But when he was Saul. He was now there's many Sauls in history. Some are kings, but it's a common name. But anyways, he was of the Hebrew faith, right? He was a firmly believer in God. That's what Hebrews believe. They believe in the one true God. But he denied Jesus, and there was others that are part of that those churches during that time that didn't accept Jesus at the time because they didn't believe that he was actually the Son of God. So when he denied the Son of God, but he still loved God, but the problem is he was killing believers in Christ, Christian, during that time when Jesus was around. I think it was after Jesus went to heaven again, or when Jesus was around. I don't remember if he was on the earth when he came in, but it was back around Jesus' time. So he was killing Christians as part of his assignment. He was a zealot. Right? He was a zealot, right? He did that. But God spoke to him. To get his attention, God knocked him off his horse, and he went blind. And he heard God's voice, and he says, "Who is this?" And he says, "I am God." He says, "I want you to meet with one of the apostles of Christ, and I want you to speak with him. I want to do as they say." Right? And eventually, he was obedient to the voice of God, and then he became a very devout follower of Christ which is the Son of God, which also the Christ. Keep in mind, Christ is also God, right? He's just God's fleshly form. They call him the Son of God. Anyways, he became a devout follower, a very dedicated follower to Christ. God took a murderer and turned him into a devout follower of Christ, accepting Christ as the Son of God, the Redeemer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He could literally take anyone. It doesn't matter. He changed it. He changed them, right? Like Paul died a martyr basically, but he died. A lot of the apostles, only except for one, were killed by execution, and because of the countries they're going into didn't like what they were teaching, right? So some were hunted down by the other zealots. You know, I don't know how all of them died. I think only one lived to old age. Like, there was like 12 apostles. Keep in mind, so only one out of the 12 survived and died of old age. And, dude, they had it rough. Christ had it rough. They all had it rough. Like, that wasn't something people easily accepted of years of tradition. Like, a lot of the during that time, a lot of the leaders of the church, like the scribes, or let's say the Pharisees, for example. The Pharisees understood the law of God, right? But they didn't understand the heart in it. So they while they taught the law, they were hypocrites and did not follow the law as according to it was supposed to. Now nobody did. That's why part of the reason why God, when he sacrificed himself, he did away with the law, right? So the law could not be fulfilled on what was necessary to be redeemed. And the Pharisees were hypocrites. They preached to the law, but they did a lot of the same things, and they're self-righteous, right? And a lot of the scribes and leaders of the church at the time were very corrupt, right? They denied Christ in the end. Like, fuck it. Here's how bad they were. When Christ was taken in by one of the Romans, right? They were occupying those lands at the time, right? They were governing the law, the law of the land, not the God's law, but the local ordinance, how things worked. They were occupying territory. Well, they had two prisoners. Well, I think it was Pilate. All right, his name was Pilate. He had two. He brought out two people, Barabbas, a murderer, and then Christ. He says, "Who shall I release, Barabbas or Christ?" And they voted for Barabbas. They're so resentful of Christ. Keep in mind, they're resentful because he was saying a lot of things, calling them out for their hypocrisy, and basically calling out the sin for what they were doing in their hearts and telling the truth. They didn't like that, even though some of the leaders of those churches at the time, they didn't like it because it was affecting their way of doing things in their traditions. They were so hung up in their traditions that they literally rejected Christ. Right? They did that, and they voted to keep a murderer around versus Christ. So that's can you understand how deeply rooted it was?
So basically, we're repeating that.
Yeah, it kind of seems like
we're
that.
really repeating that.
Don't you? It kind of is like that. Yeah, like Bible says, like in those last of days, the good will be switched to the bad. All things good will be hated, and all things that are bad will be praised. But it says something along those lines.
There you
right?
go.
That's fucking happening.
That's what's happening.
They're switching
right
the
there.
standard. It starts with small things and it works its way into the bigger things.
There you fucking go.
That goes back to discussing what they're probably trying to teach this shit in school and normalize. Like,
that's exactly what's happening.
It is the result. It is the result of unrepentant sin, and that bad behavior is a result of it. It is tossing and turning the nation. It is twisting it. That is exactly what is happening. It was prophesied. It was going to happen, and it is happening.
Yep. There you go. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's the answer.
They wrote it down a very long time ago, and it's happening again.
No, Bob. This has been a good discussion with you. I've actually gone to. I only streamed in any Dungeons of Final Fantasy for about an hour, and I've been talking for the next hour about this.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, some of the words I'm using are not spot on accurate with the Bible's exact wording, but the message is the same.
Fine. I was interested in it.
Yeah, well, glad to hear. If you want to talk any more about it, we can talk anytime you want. Listen, I'm gonna get you going though, okay?
Huh?
I'm gonna get going. I'm hungry, okay?
All right.
Good talking to you. I'm off tomorrow at work, so maybe I'll talk to you again tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, there's like a few things I gotta do tomorrow, and I'll be on.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
Well, guys, that was a great discussion with my cousin there, Bob. He's a good guy, really at the heart of it all. He's a really good guy. I love him. So anyways, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. I gotta think about the stream. Kind of got off the rails and discussing a lot of religious and deep discussions on basically current events and world stuff going on. So, have a good night. Peace out. Stay safe. Keep it real.